Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed. You nailed it. That's a bullseye.
Yes, sir.
You hit the arrow in the other arrow and split it in half. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week on Crime and Sports. We had a crazy week last week on Crime and Sports with Jeremy Mayfield. And
can you believe that it's
spilled over? We're going to talk about that at the end of the show because we got a lot to get to, and I don't know how much time we'll have.
I'm so jealous of him.
It was we sparred with his wife on Twitter. It was an interesting time there. Chicago. This week, if you are listening to this before Thursday of this week when it came out, December the 14th, then get your ass to Lincoln Hall in Chicago for the early show, 7 p.m., live Crime and Sports. By the way, too, this isn't like a recap.
No.
We're not going to do like a best of. We're not going to just sit around and dick
We're
off
going to redo Jeremy Mayfield.
I like Criminal Athlete. No, we're going to do an episode. It's going to be a new episode of someone you've never seen before, and we're going to release it also. Just this one time, we're going to release the live shows for the next episode. So get your voice heard on the live show. Come out, come to the show, lh-st.com. Get your tickets right now. Also, over at Threadless, crimeinsports.threadless.com.
That's the one.
That's the one. That is where you can get all of your Crime and Sports merch, all of your Small Town Murder merch. Everything, sweatshirts, T-shirts, all different cuts.
Get a onesie for a child that says juvenile encumbrance.
Yes, that's a Small Town Murder reference, but there's
funny.
America is a Trailer Park is our new shirt. That's a really cool one, too. Sarah spent a long time designing that one. It's a really good shirt, so you should check that out.
I love it.
Also, iTunes, thank you guys so much for your iTunes reviews this week.
Yeah.
They mean the world to us, and they, on the business end, they really keep the train chugging along. We've talked about iTunes and their funky algorithm before. Yes. And they certainly do have one, and that's how their charts work. So
it's like the dancing hot dog on Snapchat. James has no idea what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. I hate Snapchat. So if you have not yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars if you would. Doesn't matter what you say. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. That's kind of how we differentiate, and you can tell that you mean it like that, or it doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our ego. It's really just for business. If you want to do more than that, like our list of hero producers that we have at the end of the show, we love them so much. You can do that you can help us out by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you can make a donation there. Every dime is overwhelmingly appreciated. It really is. There's no small donations, put it that way.
Right.
And every penny counts. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can do that over at PayPal. That is no problem. We love those. And every dollar, every dime, every somebody sent us a dime because we say that, and we were like, cool.
I'll take it.
We were fine. We were totally fine with it. Just the fact that you went out of your way, even to make a joke, we don't care.
Right.
Thank you so much for doing that. You just use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, to make a donation over there. Also, live shows. We mentioned Chicago, but also Boston Crime and Sports show is for sale. The other shows we have a Small Town Murder in Phoenix and Small Town Murder in Detroit, but no Crime and Sports there. Boston Crime and Sports, February the 18th. Get there. It's at a weird time. It's at 4 o'clock on a Sunday.
Right.
I don't know why they do that, but it doesn't matter. We'll be there. We'll be there, and we will make it worth coming out for an afternoon show. It's going to be awesome. Trust me on that. We're going to have a blast. Besides all that, though, never mind all that shit. We're past Jeremy Mayfield and his insanity and his meth-fueled nuttiness. And
how many wishes NASCARs ran on meth?
Oh, man.
He would be so fast.
What's that run on? Meth? No, it's nitrous or meth? What are we doing here? So,
is that methanol?
We fought with his wife on Twitter.
Yeah.
She attacked us on Twitter. Didn't listen to the episode.
No,
and
she
we were
didn't.
actually really nice to her.
Yeah, we were
which is
so
funny.
sympathetic to her.
Yeah, we were sympathetic to her. The funny thing, it would be one thing if she came out and just said, hey, your guys are jerks and you're mean to my husband. Like,
Right.
we get that. Like,
Yeah.
that would be fine. But she sounded like a crazy person on meth. Is what? Not saying she's on meth. I don't know what she does.
She sure sounded like
But
it.
she sounds like when you come out and you go, it's not him. NASCAR had a big. She
Right.
literally said it was a big conspiracy that NASCAR had him fail 3 drug tests.
She said he
and
never
found meth in
did
his
meth.
house.
She said that.
Yeah, he never did meth, even though he acted like he did meth,
And
failed
was
multiple
arrested
drug
for
tests,
it.
and had it in his home. All of those things.
And had a scrapyard.
And had a
like
scrapyard
meth
and
head.
started a metal recycling business, and everything he did was methy, and it's obvious. And we don't need it because there was literal tests.
Right.
So that's a funny thing now. I don't give a shit.
Science proved it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what, like, nowadays we're in some sort of post-truth, whatever the fuck. I'm still of the mind when there's a test of something that's scientific, you can't just say that didn't happen.
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. It happened. And if you made a poor choice by marrying a fucking meth head with a failed career, that's your problem, lady. Get your shit off of Twitter with it and keep your fucking lunatic friends out of it, too. I don't care. You can come at us because our people just savaged you anyway. I didn't have to say a fucking word. I didn't say one word to that.
Right.
Just let everyone else handle
And
it.
they fucking let her have it. She also had other NASCAR toothless fucks
it's funny
talking
as
about
shit.
how great she is. My favorite part is just that she's so involved with that guy. If she would have
It's
left him
ridiculous,
fucking years ago, she would have had half of that shit and still would be fine today because they wouldn't have been able to take her half.
She's clearly a
But she's-
codependent lunatic,
right.
so that's the problem.
It's just
Moving
amazing
on.
that she can defend.
Yeah.
I told her I wish somebody would defend me the way you defend
It's
your
amazing.
handsome blue-eyed meth
Especially
devil.
especially
It's
against
crazy.
scientific tests,
Right.
multiple tests on
Right.
different samples from.
Exactly.
Never mind. Forget
Anyway.
it. You listen to the episode. He's an idiot.
Moving forward.
Moving on to possibly a bigger idiot this week,
Really?
even. Not a big of an idiot, but just a guy. Oh boy, let's get it on. This is a thick one.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on because
All
this is thick. Let's talk about First of all, his name is awful. Elijah David Dukes.
Oh boy.
So he's a black guy.
Yeah.
And his name, and he's got David
got
Dukes
David Duke in
with
his
David
name.
Duke in
Right.
his Also, guess what? Junior. Elijah David Dukes Jr. We have here.
Oh, for Christ's
Oh,
sake.
it's junior time, everybody.
Yeah.
That's our favorite time. It's junior time. Yeah. It's for the holidays. We get a nice junior in there for the holidays. I like it. So this particular junior, just Elijah Dukes is what he's known as, though, but he is a junior. He's born, insanity started way back on June 26th, 1984.
Okay.
He's from Homestead, Florida. Which
Fairly
is
young fella.
Fairly young fella, yeah. Now he's pretty young now. Shit,
Yeah.
he's not
He's 33 years old.
33. He's from Homestead, Florida, is where he was born, which is basically Miami.
Yeah.
It's in that area.
Still Florida.
Yeah, it's South Florida.
Yeah, Miami can claim to be great. That's fine, but you're still in Florida.
You're in Florida. It's he grew up poor.
Yeah.
he grew up real poor.
Anything called homestead, I imagine,
it
is
sounds
pretty fucking
poor.
broke.
It sounds like
Yeah.
you just set up a tent,
Right.
And you just put it out there, and your
Right.
kids sit outside of it, dirty like those Dust Bowl pictures,
Right.
where no
It's a
one,
homestead. There's 7 homes here.
Everyone's just covered in dust.
Right.
So it's Florida, though.
Couple
so
inches of it.
They're not covered in dust.
They
They're covered
sweat,
in,
and it's got like that fucking dirt ripple.
They're
you know
covered
what I mean?
in. They're just sitting there covered in sweat, holding a Cuban sandwich. It's just terrible. Sweating.
Cubans are delicious.
They're delicious.
Oh,
but
fuck.
To eat one while you're sweating like
No,
that sounds
thank
terrible.
you.
So
Extra salty.
when he's 8 years old in 1992, August of 1992, he's 8 years old. His family and him and his family, they live in the poorest part of the place.
they
They're
do.
super poor. Actually, he has 4 siblings.
Okay.
It's mom, dad,
Yeah.
senior, Elijah Duke Sr.,
Right.
and 4 other siblings, not all from Elijah Duke Sr.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Elijah's the only one from his father, but he's still around. And it's weird because it's a very strange situation. Anyway,
So many kids.
there's a lot of kids
And you got
around.
to try to keep up with that. And he's the only one that's this guy's kid.
Well, it gets harder for them to keep up with
Okay.
it because in August of 1992, Hurricane Andrew came through
Oh, fuck.
and absolutely leveled. And it through where he lived in that part
Yeah.
is like the hardest hit part of the entire city. It was a hard, strong
Category 4, yeah?
It was a
Or-
Category 5 when it hit
Was it?
Homestead. Yeah,
Holy
Category
shit.
5 when it hit Homestead, leveled it,
Yeah.
gone, everything gone.
Yeah.
just ridiculous. He had 4 siblings at this point. I mean, that's totally bad
Didn't
here.
lose a sibling?
Didn't lose a sibling. What they salvaged from everything was 2 photographs. This is all they got out of their possessions. 7 people's possessions. They got 2 photographs and a small radio.
Holy shit.
That's all they got. 2 family photographs
And a
that were older,
waterlogged radio.
and a shitty radio.
Fuck.
And then the next day, the radio was stolen.
Oh,
When they were in a shelter.
Oh, my God.
So down to 2 family photographs.
Oh, boy.
Everything wiped out, and they were poor to begin with.
Yeah.
And then to lose everything that
Right.
the little meager possessions you have are
Sure.
gone now, which has to be just horrible on not only the kids, but then the parents have to try
Yeah.
I have to provide for these
I got to
kids. What do I do?
rebuild, and I've got nothing.
They moved to Tampa, but they had no money, so they had to. And also there was a lot of people going to Tampa from South Florida from the hurricane, so rents actually went up
Because of
in
all
Tampa.
that's a smart thing to do because of
People
all
went
the
north.
hurricanes that have gone through Florida.
Yeah.
I think Tampa has never had one.
They don't get hit hard.
Right.
Tampa, it's a weird thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in a strange
It's
little
just
place.
in that little armpit of of Florida, and it's not on the East Coast, so
It's not on the East Coast coming from there exactly. So that's the way that works, and it's south too when it comes from that.
Right.
Miami's just like
Oh,
right. It's getting
Christ.
when they're coming from the west, when they're coming from the east, when they're
Right.
coming from the south, anywhere
right.
they're just getting pummeled. So there's a lot of people there. They had a hard time finding a place to live.
Sure.
They were forced to live in a shelter for a while. Jesus. And then finally they moved in with an aunt up there. They had an apartment finally, which was near a Copeland Park area, which I don't know Tampa very well, though.
Okay.
They later moved to Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
And when they did, the father, Elijah Sr., took a job as a truck driver there.
Yeah.
So they're trying to stabilize. They moved into a duplex in Sulphur Springs, which it's better than a shelter or living with their aunt.
it's better than having nothing.
It's better. Yeah, they probably have a radio again. We'll put it that way. So that's good for them. That's funny too. A small radio, which in the small
I don't
radio,
picture like a boombox. I'm picturing like a clock radio,
like a little radio,
Yeah.
like a little radio you'd put in a shop,
Right.
and have AM
put
going
in the
through it.
window
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
Something like that. Yeah, that's what I figure. Which is it feels like. I mean, this
To
was the
have
90s.
that stolen,
This was the
though.
90s.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
our radio. It's like,
Right.
Jesus,
It's
that's
all
so bad.
It's literally all we had.
Yeah, so there was Elijah, and then he's very close to his younger brother, who's only a year younger than him, Tyrone Evans. Tyrone Evans and Elijah were both very close to their father. Their father actually was involved with their life, took them fishing, went to all their sporting events. Both of them are athletes. Both the children are athletes.
Okay.
Went to their, the father wanted them to do well, encouraged them to do good in school.
And then?
Where they lived, terrible part of Tampa. Also, they are poor as shit.
Yeah.
Not a lot of drug dealers, prostitutes everywhere. Just not a great place to be for a kid.
There's very few places of Tampa that are like amazing.
No, I remember one of my grandmothers had a little condo there, and she'd go down there, and it was just all old
Tampa,
people.
St. Pete, Clearwater
It's there
area
anyway.
it's just so fucking.
It's
gross.
Florida.
Yeah.
Sorry, Florida, but
it's
you suck.
very Florida.
We dealt with Florida last week, and it's not great.
Yeah.
We dealt with Heather and her tattoo boobs on another podcast, the
Right.
whole deal. So at 9 years old, he's living in Tampa.
Yeah.
Dad's a truck driver. They're struggling to make ends meet. So the mother, Phyllis, she has a plan to try to make, help a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Help out the truck driving and that sort of thing. So she's like, what am I going to do here? I got an idea.
Yeah.
I am going to start selling crack.
Perfect.
That's what I think this may be the first crack selling mom we've ever encountered. Have we? Have we had a crack selling mom?
I don't think so.
I don't think we
We've
have.
had the prostitute mom.
I'm telling you through this whole thing, she's up for the 2017 Mama Gilretha Award, by the way, for
Really?
most supportive
Really?
mother of a criminal athlete.
And she started
really
selling
is.
crack.
She really is. She started selling crack. She said she never used it, but like everyone around, because they lived in the ghetto,
Yeah.
so there was people that smoked crack.
She's just an entrepreneur.
The way she
sees
put
a
it,
need.
she said, quote, for her friends and neighbors to enjoy it. Like she was the ice
Like
cream
she's a
man.
Tupperware
It's crack.
salesman.
It was sad. It wasn't to party. It's crack.
It's like she's selling
yeah.
Avon.
No, it was because they were very sad drug addicts, and so there was no enjoyment.
I just wanted to help Melvin down the way.
I only want to spread happiness. That's all it is. I got crack rocks. That's my form of
I
happiness.
see them shaking and they're having withdrawals.
And
I just
say,
want to fix it.
I just want to make a couple extra bucks.
Let me get two.
That's what I'm saying. So unreal, and
ridiculous.
And she came up tough too.
Yeah.
I mean, she came up. She was one of 8 children. When she came up, her mother's name was Pearline. Pearline's an old tough black woman name. That's Pearline Evans right there. She will whoop your fucking ass.
They mixed Pearl and Eileen together.
She will tell you to go pick a switch in a heartbeat.
You're
and
goddamn
whoop
right
your
she
fucking
will.
ass with it.
Yeah.
Her parents split up when she was just very small.
Yeah.
Her mom was during the day, her mom picked tomatoes, beans, and squash.
Fuck.
And then cleaned motel rooms at night.
Not even hotels, motels. Jesus.
How tough is that? And that's a tough ass. She raised 8 kids like that. That's amazing.
That's what America needs is people like that.
Fuck.
Like
I mean, imagine if you gave someone like that a slightest bit of resources.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
they would.
she'll crush it.
That's someone who's really, really working
She'll be
hard.
Oprah tomorrow with a little bit of resources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Phyllis, the mother, said, Elijah's mother said, quote, "I wanted to be her, to watch her there, always cooking, washing, cleaning, making sure the kids are off to school." That's amazing. That was with 2 jobs, too. She was doing all that. Still thought of as a present mother.
Yeah.
Problem, though, she is selling crack, Phyllis.
Yeah.
This is an issue. This isn't great.
Let's go back and visit that real quick
Let's
again.
talk about the nice story about her mom and go back to her selling crack.
I wanted to be my mom so bad that I just started this crack industry.
You ever smell any crack? You ever do that? It's pretty interesting. One night in 1996, so Elijah's 11 years old. He's not quite his birthday yet. Basically, she was looking for crack to sell, and she bought some crack from a crack dealer, bought $100 worth of crack, and it was fake.
Oh.
And so she was super pissed off.
Yep.
So Elijah Duke Sr., I guess just off from the truck driving job that day, he takes a gun and shoots the guy in the chest at point blank range.
He didn't even go try to get his money back or try to fix it. He just wanted to fuck.
No, he went to the guy, and I guess the guy, I don't know, told him, told him, I don't know what the fuck to tell you or whatever, tough shit. And he said, shot him in the chest.
Wow.
Point blank, too. Just blasted him right in the chest. Killed the guy.
Yep.
So his dad ends up being arrested for murder. He's tried for second-degree murder. He's convicted of second-degree murder. The sister, and they all tell a story about how Elijah was crying and trying to touch his dad as they took him away after they sentenced him to 20 years in prison.
Oh, Christ.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. And now, I mean, Phyllis had to sell crack before.
Right.
Now,
that was before without that income.
That's with truck driving income.
Right.
Things went downhill from here, obviously, for the whole family. Duke's mother went on welfare there, so now Phyllis is on welfare. Him and his brother just threw themselves, Elijah and Tyrone threw themselves 100% into sports. It's all what else are you going to do, really? I mean, honestly, too, and they talk about here in a little bit how, half the time the electric and the gas were shut off.
Fuck.
Shit like that. So they were like, man, you can go to school and just play sports. If you play every sport, you don't have to come home very much, and you just stay there, and it's fine, and it gives you something to do. You don't have to see what the fuck's going on.
Right.
So, they did that. Elijah he is a physical specimen. Yeah. An absolute physical specimen. When he's at his peak, he's 6'2", 240.
Holy shit.
And fast as the wind. I mean, that's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's 6'2", 240.
And he's cut,
fast, thick,
athletic.
Just a big athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, just one of those guys where you go, God damn, that's a fucking stud. Just that dude is made to be an athlete, you know? One night when he's a kid here, this is sad. Jesus Christ, man. This is a sad childhood. It was pretty soon after his father's conviction.
Sure.
So, I mean, shit's rough at home. The dad's not there. She's on welfare, having a hard time. Phyllis comes home with a swollen jaw and has several of her teeth in her hand.
Oh, my God.
And it turns out she was punched by a friend of the guy the father killed.
Several times.
Well, I don't even know if several times or socked her once or whatever.
It's very rare that you're going to knock out that many teeth with one shot.
Whatever happened, she was pummeled by this guy's friend. And, this was tough on the kids, obviously. See, now the dad's taken away. People are beating up their mom.
Right.
And they're small. They're 11 and 10, 12, they can't do it. What the hell are they going to do about it? So Tyrone Evans, his brother, says, quote, "To see someone beat up your mom, it does something to your psyche. Anytime someone comes within striking distance distance, you feel threatened. They said that the mother sat all the kids down and told them not to let the situation get them down. She tried to be positive. Mama Gilretha to the end here. Mama Gilretha, by the way, is a reference to the Carlton Dotson episode of Crime and Sports, which is, I don't know, episode 11, 12,
it was 13. So early.
Really early, 14 maybe. But that's a good episode to look at because there was some early hints of all the shit that was going on at Baylor.
Right.
We talked about it before it was a big deal.
Right.
They said about her mom here, quote, she told us, you all don't have to live with anger in your hearts. Don't live with fear. She's trying her best.
Yeah.
But shit is tough, man.
I understand you don't have to live with anger in your heart.
Fear.
But how do you not live? How do you live that lifestyle and not have fear?
I would think
every fucking day.
All of these people would have fear. Phyllis said, quote, we made a bad choice. My kids was really hurt when their father went to prison. I was not going to lose my kids out in the streets. So, I mean, yeah, she's a Southern.
That's the most gangster fucking sentence ever.
She's not very educated either. You got to imagine too.
That's such a tough. That statement alone just kind of defines his childhood.
It does, right there. His sister Katrina says, "quote Sometimes we'd get home and the lights would be off. We could hear her crying. That's when Elijah said, "I'm going to grow up to be a professional player."
My man.
So Elijah's like, "I'm taking the reins here," and they say pretty much as soon as. Not long after the father went away, Elijah became the father figure for the other kids here.
This sounds already like this. Like this could be a movie right now. If there's a happy ending, this is a movie of like Oscar award winning movie because it's just a beautiful story. At the
there's
beginning.
Not going to be a movie at all. This is anything but happy.
Dateline?
This is anything but happy. There's going to be a Crime in Sports worse than Dateline. I would honestly, if you're someone who's doing anything untoward, would you rather have Dateline or us do an episode on you?
You'd much rather have us talk about you for sure.
I would rather have Dateline talk about me.
No,
fuck yeah, they're going to be way nicer and more
they
clinical.
Can't say what an asshole.
They're not going to do it for 2 hours. They're not going to have some fucking character show up in an accent and make fun of you, and fucking none of that's going to happen on Dateline.
The good part about Dateline is that
they're going to try to be balanced.
I mean, the bad part about Dateline is that you don't have anybody to direct your anger at. At least this way, you can tweet at
Dateline.
us.
Go ahead, tweet all you want at Dateline.
Nobody's going to pay attention.
Nobody fucking pays attention when you complain to us. We don't care.
Our listeners do. They give a shit.
Yeah, if you complain to us,
I've never seen anybody reply to a Dateline tweet.
That's
people
true.
Reply to if you say shit to us, we have hundreds of people that will tell you to eat dicks.
That's true.
And how fucking hillbilly retarded you are.
That's true. Yes, it's a good point. I like the Crime and Sports movement for that. So 97, he's trying to be like his dad. He's just turned 13.
Yeah,
and he becomes somewhat like his dad because at the age of 13 in 97, he's arrested for the first time.
What?
He's arrested at 13 for assault and battery, too.
Of who?
Somebody. He's 13 years old.
Oh, there's not going to be much.
Yeah, everything's sealed. Very, very hard to find.
But you get the actual charge, and that's enough.
Assault and battery, yeah. Okay. He's an angry kid.
Oh, I would
Very
hope so.
angry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's angry. Yeah. He's a temper drop of a hat. He will go off super angry.
Yeah.
He would get mad. He just kept saying he's going to become a professional athlete because every time the lights were off, it would stress him out and all that. So that was 97. So by the age of 14, he's trying to get his shit together here. Get ready for high school.
You bet.
Because, he was in middle school before.
So weird.
Got to work on his assault charge from middle school. But guess what? 98, he's 14. He's arrested again.
Oh, my God.
Again on a battery charge again. So this is... And he's 14. I mean,
he's just swinging on everybody.
He's swinging on people, and he's a stocky, strong kid. I mean, and he's not. He's
Mama told him no pushover. Lock out the fear and the anger,
but keep that hate in your heart, buddy.
He's hanging on to that anger for sure.
I'm going to keep that anger because that's going to fuel me.
I can see, like, as an adult, if you've been through a decent childhood, as an adult, if everything's tough, like you're angry. But you have somewhere to place it, and you place it on like the system and stuff.
Yeah.
When you're angry and you've had
place it on
you're a
whoever's in front
child
of you.
and you've had fucking nothing everywhere.
Was in front of you.
It's everybody.
It's everything.
Everybody's fault. Everybody's problem.
Well, they all have it better than you. Is the way you're looking at it. So that's why you end up hanging out with other shitheads because
well, and it's also
the only
because
people you can relate to.
he already knows it's not his fault. Like
I would assume,
you know
I would
what
hope so.
In your heart, you just got to go, I didn't do anything to deserve this life. And so that's what he's putting up with. He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Well, now he has.
Now he has. He's going to do plenty wrong. But up until he was 13, out of his control.
Completely not his fault.
Mom selling crack, dad shooting people, no money, fucking hurricane. You don't get more of an act of God than a fucking hurricane. It's literally wind comes in from the ocean and takes everything away. Like that's, your
whole environment is telling you don't deserve shit.
You will have nothing.
Yeah, and if you get anything,
excuse me, here's a radio.
The environment will fucking take it from you.
Or whether that be the wind and water or a human being who wants your radio. Someone in your world will fuck your shit up.
Take everything from you.
So, like I said, very fiery. His brother... Tyrone said right away, he was like, he noticed how angry he was, how angry Elijah was. He said, quote, sometimes I wish he could have my kind of attitude, a laid-back competitor. I just wish that sometimes he wouldn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. But that's his makeup. I guess that's why he survived this far. He's just an emotional person.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the thing. His brother is very even-keeled, very, pragmatic. Sure. Hey, let's just figure this out.
The problem solver.
Well, that's him. Yeah, he's the second kid. Whereas Elijah's I feel responsible. Yeah. The lights are off. I need to be a professional athlete so the lights won't be off. Whereas I don't think Tyrone thought that. He was just like, shit, I hope Mom gets the lights on again. Yeah. So it's a different thing here.
The problem with environments like this, too, is that you think that money solves every problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, I just got to have money and we'll have no problems.
Which it solves most of the problems.
Yeah, but you got to factor in human behavior.
Oh,
too.
definitely. But I mean, if your problem is the lights aren't on, that's not an existential problem. That's I can't see shit. I want the lights on. Money will solve that immediate issue. We are hungry. Money.
That was Chris Rock's joke, right? If you can't read, that's Mama's fault. Yeah. If you can't read because the lights aren't on, that's Daddy's fault.
That's funny. Around this time too, we haven't even reached high school yet.
This is unbelievable. He's already been arrested twice.
And his dad's a murderer, and his mom sold crack, and his older brother Willie Evans is shot in the arm and in the leg during a drive-by.
Sweet Pete.
So now they got to visit the brother in the hospital, and Jesus Christ.
And they likely don't have health coverage.
Something. They'd have to take cold showers. Yeah. They would say, the mother would tell them, don't get too sweaty out there. You'll have to take a cold shower. So, they would come inside like, oh, shit, don't get too sweaty.
Yeah.
Don't stop. We got to stop playing ball because we don't have any hot water. Wow.
I felt a trickle down my forehead. I have to quit,
I got to stop now. I'm out of deodorant, and this is rough here. Tyrone said, quote, we spent countless nights crying because we wanted some of the things the other kids had. Elijah always told me, yo, T, it's going to get better, man. So he was trying to be the father figure. He gets to high school, has problems in high school. He goes to 4 different high schools.
Jesus.
Last 2 years, he's at the same high school. But before that, he goes to 3
others.
He goes to Jefferson High School, C. Leon King High School, and George D. Chamberlain High School. Yeah. And those are his first 2 years. And it's disciplinary problems,
getting kicked
doesn't
out.
get along with people, just having issues. Then he spends his final 2 years at Hillsborough High in Tampa. There's a lot of athletes that went here. Carl Everett went here. Dwight Gooden went here. Yeah, there's a lot of people. This is like when we did the college in L.A. or the high school in L.A. and had a lot of
the rich kids.
Yeah, this is the same sort of thing except with athletes.
Right.
This Tampa area is rich for athletes. This is Darryl Strawberry came from this area.
I was just going to say, if Doc Gooden went there, Strawberry also. So they generate a lot of...
Gary Sheffield, too, is from down there. Yes, because he's...
Sheffield, was that steroids, or did he do coke with those boys?
I don't know if he did coke, because he's post-coke. He wasn't a rookie till 1990.
Okay.
Those guys were coked up in 85. Yeah. So he might have been...
I'm mixing him up with Fred McGriff anyway.
Yeah, McGriff isn't a coke guy at all. McGriff always reminded me
McGriff and Sheffield looked alike. Except for McGriff didn't get as big as Sheffield
McGriff was
got.
Thin. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I think you're just racist on that one. No, they didn't look alike at all, honestly.
Doc Gooden and Strawberry looked alike until Strawberry really got into it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Young Doc Gooden and old Darryl Strawberry.
They look the same. You're right.
when Doc got real... When he was skinny when he was a kid, and Strawberry had cancer and a coke problem when he was 40. Give those together. That's when they really...
That is so funny.
They could be father and son. Yeah. He lettered all 4 years in both football and baseball.
Okay.
Notice I haven't said what sport we're doing yet because
he lettered all 4 years in both football
and baseball. And lettered 2 years in basketball and track also.
My Christ.
So all 4 years in those two, and then 2 years in basketball and track.
This son of a bitch is athletic.
Yeah, as a junior, he started at both tailback and as a middle linebacker.
What?
He was named Class 3A All-State selection at linebacker and rushed for over 1,000 yards on offense, which is amazing. That's
your
dominating both sides of the
linebacker
ball.
ran for 1,000 yards.
That's what the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
Because he's 6'2", he's 240, and he's a... Think about the anger and the explosion.
Oh my God!
And he's an athlete
and
too.
Football, that's the fucking sport he should be playing because you can get everything out there.
So yeah, after the Hillsborough team, the Terriers, they made the state regional football semifinals in his junior year and the quarterfinals in his senior year. So even the team did well. He was named best athlete in Florida by the newspaper, and the USA Today, the major newspaper. They do all the sporting things. Called him, quote, the best two-way athlete in the country.
In the country.
So, yeah.
And the best athlete, any, 2A, 3A, 4A, all the way to 5.
Best two,
He's the best one in Florida.
Two-way, not 2A.
Oh, I thought you said two-way.
Two-way, like two-sport.
Okay.
Like Bo Jackson or Dion or somebody like that. But, yeah, he also was wearing out, obviously.
Best two-way in the country.
In the country. Best two-way athlete in the country.
I've never been that.
No.
Anything.
Shit, no.
Fuck
Especially
athlete.
Athlete. Yeah, that's amazing. He would always come to his brother Tyrone's basketball games. His sister Mary had a pituitary tumor, which was very scary. She was in the hospital for a long time. They said Elijah was by her side. If he wasn't in school or playing baseball, he was at the hospital with his sister.
I like this kid.
You like this kid for a while.
Not just like for the athletic and the giving a shit about his family. I like that he's angry too because I was angry as fuck.
So was I. I was a dick when I was a kid.
I was the worst.
So Tyrone said, quote, since my dad's been gone, he told me he's my daddy. If I need something, he tells me to call him because he's my daddy.
God damn it, Elijah, nice. I like you.
They had in the 2001 World Showcase, it's for baseball, and I guess it's some sort of big tryout thing. The scouting report on him said, quote, Dukes had to leave after the workout portion. He is every bit a man among boys. He's a plus runner who we have seen sparkle in the outfield. Perhaps the biggest problem is whether or not he has center field speed or if he projects strictly as a left fielder. He does not project at all as a right fielder due to an average arm at best. He threw poorly in Fort Myers because he had not touched a baseball for a while. He showed us a playable center field arm earlier in the year. He did not disappoint in batting practice where he showed a fast bat and hit several rockets. He projects to hit with plus power. Dukes is also a top football prospect. It will be interesting to see what happens in June for this outstanding big athlete.
Yeah.
So they love him, even in baseball. February 1st, 2002, he makes an official recruiting visit to North Carolina State University.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to North Carolina State. It's for everyone to kiss his ass and for them to throw co-eds at him and kegs of beer, and he's going to be excited. February 6th, 2002, he signs a national letter of intent with North Carolina State University and their coach Chuck D'Amato.
Yeah.
So he says he's going to go there, signs a letter of intent. But on June 4th, 2002 is the 2002 Major League Baseball draft.
Yeah.
Elijah's 17 years old, by the way. He hasn't even turned 18 yet when this is going on.
Already having a much better life than I ever had, even with the horrible shit going on.
Yeah. Oh, he signed a letter of intent.
This is amazing.
And now the baseball draft's coming up. This draft had like B.J. Upton in it and Zach Greinke. Prince Fielder was in this draft. This is a draft that if you read or listen to Moneyball, not the movie with Brad Pitt, the book, the actual really good book, this is the draft they're talking about, is this draft. And that whole thing, the whole big thing when they're setting up a draft and they're saying they don't want Fielder because he's fat and they don't want this one. This is what they're talking about here. Khalil Green, guys, Scott Kazmir, Nick Swisher, they talk about a lot in the book there.
Great.
He is great. Matt Cain, Jeremy Guthrie, a lot of guys there. Joey Votto, Curtis Granderson, John Lester, a lot of big famous baseball players. In the third round, pick number 2, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time, they pick Elijah. So now he's been picked.
Yep.
He's got a letter of intent to go to a major university.
And he's already drafted into the major league.
And he's drafted by a major league team. So he's got choices to make.
At 17 years old.
17.
Those are some professional fucking choices he's got to make.
That's what I'm saying. He finally turns 18. He enrolls at NC State on June 30th, 2002. He signs up. July 8th, 2002, he formally commits to NC State. And then on August 21st, 2002, he says, fuck that shit. I'm signing with baseball.
I need money.
He said, I need money. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is because, and it's so funny, I think that NC Sate shit was just to drive the price up.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. I might play football. And they're like, throw an extra $100,000 at the kid, see if he'll come in. I really think that's what it was.
I hate it.
Because that's the only reason why he would have been drafted in the third round instead of the first round or second round is because they didn't know whether he'd play football or not. Because that's a big deal. Like, if we draft him and he doesn't play, it's like John Elway. The Yankees drafted John Elway. Yeah. They never got John Elway.
Right.
Well, they did for like a summer league thing.
Right. He went and played ball just for a little bit, just to get the NFL more enticed.
That's all it was to do that. So just to say, hey, look, I can hit. And
I don't give a shit about going there. I don't want to play there. I want to go play somewhere else.
I want to be a Yankee, John Elway would say. Yeah. So he signs a contract with the Rays. He receives a $505,000 bonus.
Wow.
That'll turn the lights on.
You betcha.
And that's what he saw.
And that should keep him on forever.
And think about that. He's got younger brothers, younger sisters, and a mother that's struggling with all this. He thinks, I'm going to go to school for 4 years.
Yeah. And my head is hurting right now because I'm terrified.
Isn't it terrible?
You already know. You already know what's going to happen. There's so many mouths to feed.
Well, he's thinking, I'm going to go to school for 4 years and leave them all down there to struggle for themselves. I'm not there to protect anybody. I'm not there to do anything. Tampa drafted me. That's my hometown team.
I can make the money right now.
I'm just going to make the money, help my family out. So he does that.
Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. Yeah. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put our, what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder. Follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
And now back to the show.
By the way, in his first 6 seasons as a pro, he's suspended at least once every year. Let's just say that right before we even get into it. So I don't have to say he's suspended. At least once every year. Every year, at least once. And a couple times for like half a season. They're just like, go home.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with you next year.
Get the fuck out of here.
His brother, Tyrone, who I fucking love, by the way. All I've ever read about this guy, just a stand-up, just a really smart, good, studious
guy. The guy who probably should have fucking guided him through his career?
Yeah, except he's his younger brother.
Right, so he won't listen to him.
Exactly.
Right.
He went to play basketball at Albany State in Georgia.
Nice.
So he ends up getting a college education, too, which is awesome for him. So now we start with some legal difficulties here. And there's a lot of them.
Jesus.
And a lot of them are minor, but I found everything. So we're going to go over it because patreon.com/crime and sports because this is a motherfucker. This was not easy to find either. This is the problem. It's that greed will fucking ruin you, and it'll change everything. This isn't greed, though.
No. So it is greed because he should have gone to college and fucking had some forethought to have a fucking life.
I think it's the opposite, though. I really think it's the opposite. I think greedy would have been to go to college.
You think so?
I think in his mind, not in reality. In his mind, he thinks if I go to college, that's so selfish.
Yeah.
My family's going to sit there with the fucking lights off while I get pampered in college.
Yeah, but to me, selfish and greedy are two different things.
If I make this money, money,
Yeah.
I can go give that to my family right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, my
Yeah.
mother they can move out of the fucking ghetto.
Yeah.
I can get they can move into a decent house.
Right.
My little brother can do better.
Right.
My sister's sick. She
They'll
can have
always
a better.
eat, right.
They'll always eat. The lights are on, and my mother doesn't have to cry every night.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that thought, man.
But
I
think
can't
that-
blame him for that.
I think that this decision is just terrible.
Oh, it's
because
terrible. For him.
Oh, it's terrible.
No, for him, it's
Right.
the worst thing
Yeah.
that could happen to
Right.
him. But for him, it was a sacrifice.
Right, but I also think it's
really
terrible
do.
because going to college and having some forethought and getting an education to have a job later is
Yeah.
one thing, but also, too, it's showing your family that, look, I'm not going to just give you what you want all the time because that's a lot of mouths
That's
to
not
feed,
what
and
you
they're going to
want,
keep
though.
coming back
They
to
want
him.
electricity.
Yeah,
They're
but you
not
put
saying-
electricity on, then they're like, yeah, now I need a car.
No.
Now I need fucking
What are you
this.
saying?
Now I need that.
It's a slippery slope from food to
fuck,
mink?
Yes,
I don't
it
think
is.
so. I don't think so.
That's a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope from food to mink. I don't know where that...
I see that,
Where that came
though.
from.
Like, I see when you have
I
a
get
family
that,
that has
but
had
man,
nothing, and now all of a sudden they can get a little
if
bit
your
from
mom
you.
had to sell crack because your dad's in
Yeah,
prison
well-
and the lights aren't on and your little brother can't do his homework because he's got no fucking lights on,
You sell more crack
Man.
when you're wearing mink.
I'm sorry. I get what he's doing, is what I'm saying.
I don't like it.
And you'll see later, he wanted to play football.
I'm sure he
This
did.
wasn't a decision he made for like, cool, I'm going to go get a gold chain tomorrow.
Yeah.
This was, cool, I get the lights on at my house.
That's just where it starts. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
true. So January 9th, 2000, it's a slippery slope.
January
from,
9th, slippery slope from food to mink.
So it's January 9th, 2003, he's ticketed. He gets a ticket for having a loud sound-making device.
Okay,
so I don't know. It's a big
He
stereo.
wouldn't put money in a car.
He got a system in his car. Spent $300 on that.
Sure.
So he goes to the minors. He goes to the Charleston River Dogs in Charleston, and they're single A in 2003. August 19th, 2003, gets a ticket for careless driving. Also, so he's gonna. This fucking guy should not have a car.
No.
Like someone needs to get him a bus pass and take away, or like a driver. He needs a driver. That would be the one thing I would do if I was a team. I'd say you need I would hire a homeless guy to drive him around.
Already. I mean, he's already gotten a ticket for a loud noise-making device,
Yeah.
probably a car, whether it's exhaust or the fucking or
something.
the stereo. And the other one is reckless driving already. Careless
That's
driving.
terrible.
Whatever.
Yeah, stupid.
It's a mess.
But in baseball here at the Charleston River Dogs here, he has 117 games, 383 at-bats. He hits 245 with 7 home runs, 53 RBI, and 33 steals.
He's got stats.
Not bad for an 18-year-old kid.
Sure.
I mean, that's not too shabby. That's 33 steals for a guy who's 240.
And 6'2", he can run.
That's moving.
Great.
That's a big, strong cat that can run, man. That is.
And he's a center fielder?
He's plays center and left.
Okay.
Depending on where he is.
So he's not a shortstop. He's not your fucking.
No,
he's
no,
not
no.
a second baseman.
No, he's a big son of a bitch.
That's
He's
great.
like a shorter Dave Winfield is the best way to describe the way
I like
he looks.
it.
So Dave Winfield's like 6'6", so
He's a big dude.
big, lanky
Yeah.
dude. Not lanky because he was thick.
Fucking thick as shit.
Thick,
He's
yeah.
brick shit house. Is
He
that the
looks
phrase?
like- he's like
I almost
Dave-
called him a shit brick house.
Shit brick house. That's a totally different. That's just a house that's not constructed very well. That's all that is.
That's a gross dude with floppy man tits. That's what that is.
Yeah. No, that's brick shit. But no, he's like 4 or 5 inches shorter. Dave Winfield would be the best way to describe him, without the cannon of an arm that Winfield had. All-time class arm. September 21st, 2003, he gets a ticket for failing to observe a stop sign.
Oh, fuck.
So that's not great. October 9th, 2003, gets a ticket for defective equipment.
What is that?
What the fuck that is?
Bad lights or some shit?
That might have been like a tail light out or some shit like that. That's technically
Or
that.
a flat tire and he just keeps running down the road?
Driving.
Fuck it.
System bumping. Fucking.
I didn't hear that flopping, officer.
Shit,
I
I
had
don't
no
know.
idea. I thought the road was just fucked up.
Yeah, it's Florida. I mean, everything's fucked up. Come on. It's Florida. I just figured it was some kind of deep, bottomless pit of despair that I was driving into. A ditch of despair. So November 6th, 2003, he gets a ticket for careless driving again. So, he's just...
So far, his problems revolve around being behind the wheel of a vehicle
I
or
would
just
say.
blasting people in the mouth. That's his problem.
So every month he's gotten a ticket for something else, and he'll punch anyone who comes in his way here. Anybody. So November 24th, 2003, he reports his car stolen to Tampa police, which I was like, good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was probably the cop that ticketed him.
It was probably the Rays organization probably hired a guy to steal it. Keep this guy off the fucking road already. Steal his car. He's not going to stop driving. We have to steal his car. That's it. So on November 25th, 2003, he and his girlfriend, now I don't know how to say this, N-I capital S-H-E-A. Nishea? Nishea or Nishea?
S-H-E-A?
Yeah.
That's just Niche.
Niche,
It might be Niche.
Niche.
I don't know.
Niche, we're going to call it.
We should call Key and Peele. They
would know.
Somebody tell us how this shit's pronounced.
Niche Gilbert. She was a University of South Florida student.
Yeah.
She goes on to be a teacher later on. She's a pretty, she was
outstanding girl.
College student
Figured it
that
out.
wants to be a teacher.
Got it.
She meets this jerk off, and they get together. And on November 25th, 2003, day after his car stolen, they have a baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
He needed that car to get her to the hospital.
Let's get him that car back so we can get the baby in the car with him. His system bumping, driving carelessly. Yay, the equipment defective.
Right.
Nope, this is great.
Jesus.
So now he's got a kid. Okay, this isn't terrific at this point.
Is it a son or a daughter?
He's got a
Do we
kid.
know?
This is a daughter.
Okay.
This is a daughter, the first kid here. So he's got a kid. He is not even 20 years old.
Right.
He's 19 years old.
Yeah.
He signed a contract.
Terrible driver.
He's a terrible driver. He has got tickets coming out his ass. There's traffic school.
Yeah.
So much traffic
Holy
school.
Christ.
Good
You
God.
can only go so many times,
Yeah, they're
man.
like, it just fines
Figure
after
it
that.
out, Elijah.
Now he's got a girlfriend and a baby. This shit is coming hard and fast and heavy, and he's breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
He's living home. He's living in Tampa.
Right.
First of all, he's at home. He hasn't found religion, thank God.
No.
But I mean, he's driving poorly, which isn't a rule, but it seems to always happen with these guys. That's like the first thing. If you've lost control of your life, you just drive like shit. You don't care anymore. That's what it seems like, doesn't it?
It's because life is coming at you so fast. You got to bob and weave in traffic.
That's a good point there. That's a really good point. Yeah, so it's a fucking mess now. Now he's having a baby when he's 19. Things are going bad.
It's just not. It's not adding up to a very nice cake.
It's not. That was
It's
November.
a shit cake.
That's a shit cake, big time. November 25th. That was. Now December 8th, 2003. So this is really soon after that. Here, he is arrested. And charged with misdemeanor assault. This is ridiculous here. He's the baby's 2 weeks old. He's there with his girlfriend. It's 9 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Okay.
And they start arguing.
That's about the time it happens.
That's usually when all the fights happen. 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. So it wasn't like they were drinking on a Friday night. Things got out of control. He thought she fucking shook her ass at somebody and he's a jealous assohole or whatever it is. No.
This is just bitching about morning news together.
Yeah, can you believe this?
Right.
They're holding the 2-week-old baby here and they get in a huge fight, and apparently he throws a remote control and a bottle at her.
Okay.
And they break on the wall behind her. And so she calls the police, and they come and they arrest him.
She's holding a kid when
she's
he does
holding
it.
a 2-week-old
What a
baby.
fucking asshole.
What a fucking... This is what I mean. He can't stop the... He can't stop the rage.
Maybe he threw it in her vicinity.
I feel like if he wanted to hit her with it...
Right, he's a baseball player.
He probably would have hit her
probably
with
hit her wherever he wanted to hit her with something he's throwing.
My friend who was a pitcher, literally, he could take darts.
Yeah.
Just playing darts. He could just hit... Boom, 5,
right in the center.
10 times in a row.
Every time,
Boom, bink, like it was nothing.
The hand-eye coordination is crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be my fucking defense to the cop. Dude, I play for the race.
Either
Do you
way,
think
you
I
can't
could
buzz a you can't buzz a woman with a 2-week-old kid with a fucking soda bottle or a remote control and a glass by her head.
Right.
That's not okay.
You got a point.
You're trying to demonstrate fear. You were like trying to.
I really, because I like him.
You want to like him.
I want him to do well.
I want to see where it rolls back. Like this is the high water mark and where it rolls. I want to see where it rolls back for you.
As soon as you said you can't buzz, I'm going, Jimmy,
you can't do
dickhead,
that.
shut
you
up.
Can't do that. You can't inflict terror on your girlfriend with a 2-week-old child in her arms. That's not
They're
okay.
so fragile at that age.
That's so bad. So Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. He's pulled over on suspicion of careless driving.
Mm-hmm.
When the Tampa police officer approaches him, he does not say, "Merry Christmas, officer. Where are you on this fine holiday? It stinks that you have to work and you can't be with his family."
Right.
He begins to scream obscene names at her and shout and yell and call her every name
It's
he can.
a woman cop?
It's a woman
Oh,
cop.
Christ.
He calls her everything he can think of. She
Poor
yanks his
thing.
ass out of the car after he tries to roll his window up to get away from him.
Ah, the disrespect.
Yeah, he was just like, "Fuck you," rolled the window up, and she said, "Oh no." And think about this poor lady.
Yeah.
She has to work on Christmas,
Yeah.
first of all. She's pissed about that. And she's like, I got to deal with this fucking asshole
Not just
now,
I
too.
have to work on Christmas.
There's
I have
turkey
to,
at my house.
Right. I have to work on Christmas offering tickets that are going to cost these people fucking money
Yeah, this
on
sucks
Christmas
for everybody.
Day.
And now I got to deal with this
Right.
jackass. I got to yank some giant muscled up dude out of his goddamn car.
That clearly has no fucking utter disregard for the safety of women. He'll fucking huckle
wing something
a
at you.
bottle
Luckily,
at
he
you.
had no remote controls or anything in there. And two things he likes to do.
Yeah.
He likes to throw bottles and choke.
Okay.
Well, you're going to see that so often. He's
Really?
got a pattern of behavior. He likes to choke people and throw shit at them.
Well, at least he
Not at the
meanders
same time.
from like at the start. At the start, he's just swinging. It's
Well, we don't know.
pattern.
At the start, he might have been choking,
He
too.
may have been
We don't know.
choking.
He
Yeah,
was a kid.
It's a pattern, if nothing else.
So the police officer yanks him out of the car, and he's charged with obstructing an officer without violence, because then he gave up here.
Yeah.
He ends up entering a misdemeanor intervention program plea, and the charges are eventually dropped.
Okay.
Eventually, too, around this time, the remote control throwing charges are dropped also.
Okay.
So there's that. So he's free and clear besides all his insane traffic shit here.
Yeah.
He does not, even when he's not doing something, he's always in contact with, this dude should have just joined the police force. Like, they just should get him a uniform, because he's with them so much.
Yeah.
Like, he's always hanging out. They're always pulling him over. He's calling them.
Yeah.
They're being called on him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. January 18th, 2004, he calls the police in Tampa to report a burglary at his home.
Oh, boy.
So somebody broke into his shit and stole it. So now his car's been stolen, and now his house has been broken into over the course of a month. So January 30th, 2004, Elijah calls Hillsborough Sheriff's Department after a fight with Gilbert, again, the girlfriend, Nisha
Right.
Gilbert here, accusing her of, Jesus Christ, this is...
I love when the charge cracks you up.
This is like a wrestling angle.
Yeah.
This is like Rick Martel had the thing in the 90s when he was the model where he would spray perfume in your face. It was like out of a big, like a bug spray
like a poison
thing.
tube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd spray, and Jake the Snake Roberts had his eye all gray, and they had a WrestleMania match with blindfolds on. I remember that. I think it was WrestleMania 6. Anyway,
Okay.
so she sprays him with an unknown substance from an aerosol container. So he's yelling, they're arguing. She just sprays his fucking eyes.
With some of that big, sexy hair
She
spray.
hits him with the Aquanet, like right in the grill piece, right?
Blast.
So so he's like, oh shit. So they fight continually after that, and he calls the cops. They get there.
He body slams her on a folding chair.
Yeah,
or
he gave her a
table.
well. She popped off the sunset flip though and got the 1, 2, 3. So it was it was okay.
So good.
So he gets the cops there,
Yeah.
and he says he just wants to document the incident so it's on file, but he doesn't want to press charges.
Yeah.
But,
Just so everybody knows in case she hits me with the
I got a
Aquanet
baby
again.
that's like 2
Yeah.
months old. I'm not taking care of this
Right.
motherfucker, so you're not arresting her. Someone's got to change
That's
these shitty
exactly
diapers.
what it is.
I just want to let you know that if we get in a fight, it's not all me.
That
That's all I'm saying.
motherfucker wakes up in the middle of the night and has to eat. I'm
That's
not
all
doing
I'm
that
saying.
shit.
That ain't my problem. She's got the titties. One of us has the titties, and it ain't me. So, March 16th, 2004, Nisha Gilbert files for child support against him for the son. The judge orders that he start paying
For the daughter.
I'm sorry. The judge orders that he start paying $222.26 per month.
That's a deal.
Which that's not
That's
a lot
great.
at all. That's nothing.
That's fucking incredible. That's cheaper than a car payment.
That's not even like diapers.
That's the electric bill.
That's
That's
what I mean.
amazing.
That's why. But he's already also $23,337 in arrears. Also,
how the hell is that possible?
How the fuck that accumulated?
That kid's
in 3
like
months?
4 months.
How is $222 a month over like 6 months add up to 23?
That's
I have
crazy.
no idea.
That's some interest. Compounded interest is a motherfucker on $600.
Yeah, and they say that is factored into the monthly payments. So it was like less than $222 a month, and
now it's all of a sudden
I
huge.
don't know how that shit works. And oh yeah, did we forget he also plays fucking baseball?
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
You forgot, didn't you? We're off on all this great. You forgot he was still.
My Christ,
He's in his second
he's
year.
He's a career criminal already.
Yeah, he fucking 43 games in Charleston that year and 58 with the Bakersfield Blaze of the high single A.
Okay.
He totals there. I'm not going to go into both. Whatever. So the totals for both those teams: 101 games, 374 at bats, 313 average, 10 homers, 49 ribbies, and 30 stolen bases.
Wow.
So that's showing power, speed, and that's pretty consistent too. 313, not too shabby. But he wasn't distracted too much by the baseball season. Don't get me wrong here. He had other shit going on. On April 26th. Nisha Gilbert calls Hillsborough deputies and says that Elijah is harassing her and making threatening phone calls at her.
Jesus.
No arrest is made, which is fine. April 28th, 2 days later, Gilbert files for a protective order, domestic violence injunction against Elijah, and she's accusing him of making threatening phone calls, calling members of her family and threatening them. And the judge denies this order, saying that she wasn't specific enough in her paperwork about the number of telephone calls. And since, for a protective order, when there's a child involved, that's his, they have to make sure, I guess, that
some of those phone calls aren't just
for the kid,
right.
or basically they're saying he has a right to talk to the kid, so it has to be very egregious for me to say that he, has to be a lot of threatening phone calls, which I think you threaten a phone call, that's enough right there. I probably don't want you around the kid if you're threatening people over the phone anyway.
At minimum,
I get it.
Yeah.
Now, on the field, he has a temper, too. This isn't just like on the field he's cool and off the field he's a nut.
Right.
This is everywhere. A catcher later on, a guy named Sean Riggins, said while they were in the minors, he said he just saw his temper flare over and over, but he said he didn't blame Dukes, actually. Yeah. He said, you and I would not do well, talking about his childhood. He said, quote, you and I would not do well there. Nobody knows what it was like for him. If he can focus himself on the field, there aren't many other players like him. So he's saying he had a hard time as a child, and, I get it, whatever. And he's still a kid at this point, too.
Yeah.
So you figure out maybe some of this shit will wear off. You know what I mean? Who knows? Now, another guy, a former Pirate who played with him in the minors, said, quote, he'll snap in a minute. A new team or a new stadium won't change that. He's like, no matter where he is, he's crazy.
He's a problem.
He's a problem. Another guy named Ryan Knox in 2004. He was another player for the Rays in their farm system. He really got a close-up look at this shit here. In 2004, he was his roommate. He was Elijah's roommate, this Knox guy. This was his third roommate in 3 months, Elijah, because he's tough to deal with. Apparently, they got along fine at first. Everything was cool. He said he considered Dukes a friend. One night, out of nowhere, Dukes suddenly, the guy said he doesn't even know what happened, why he got upset.
Right.
But he said he got really kind of cold and mean, and things got so bad in a minute here that there was a maid in the hallway that went and hid for her life. And even other teammates ran away from
that much of a fight.
That much of they were scared of him and didn't want to be involved in it. Knox still stayed around, and what ended up happening is Dukes chokes him.
Okay.
He chokes him around his neck, and he said, Knox, I'm done with you. That's all he would say, apparently. Knox, I'm done with you, while he's choking him, which doesn't sound,
that sounds
frightening.
That sounds like you're threatening to kill a man.
Yeah, he said, Knox said, quote, with him, it was kill or be killed.
Yeah.
That's how he was. And the pitching coach ended up having to come in and break it up. So at least he didn't sock his pitching coach.
Yeah.
But none of the other teammates they were scared of him.
They wouldn't come near it.
They were scared of him. September 15th, 2004, an ex-girlfriend of his named Carla Bryant has a judge issue a paternity test to see if Dukes is her son's father.
Uh-oh.
He's been arrested. He's violent. He's volatile. Of course,
the baby
it's
him?
Of course, it's his kid.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know when this kid was born?
Yeah.
8 days after his first kid.
No.
8 days after his first.
Oh,
kid
what an asshole!
Was born. 8 days.
What a cocksucker!
So yeah, this things are.
Elijah's not my favorite anymore.
No. He's really.
I mean,
he's fucking up a lot.
Yeah.
He would be, but that's what I mean. He's really flying down on that toboggan,
it's such a fucking meandering run.
Chevy Chase and Christmas Vacation is flying down that hill right now.
There's some sparks flying
behind him. So by the end of the season, he hadn't been arrested since April, at least. That's a good sign.
Yes.
Right? That's not bad. Also named by Baseball America, which is the scouting site there, as the number 8 prospect in the Devil Rays' entire system.
Wow.
Which is good. He's the number 8 best player.
There's only fucking 9 positions, so if he's number 8 of those, I know
system,
what you mean.
But
But
I
I'm
mean, that's not bad. There's
there's
a couple, 100 guys in there, and he's,
there may be 3 of those 8 that are
well, back then, they had Rocco Baldelli, Carl Crawford, they had Evan Longoria, they had a stacked a minor league system. All these guys who became stars later on in the decade, they were all down there together. B.J. Upton.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the Upton brothers, both of them. So, I mean, think about that.
What's the other one? Chad? Was it Chad?
No.
What's his
There's
name?
no black guys named Chad.
No. Isn't there?
The Uptons?
Yeah.
They're not. No.
What's the other one?
It's Melvin, I think. Isn't it Melvin?
I wouldn't fucking have a clue.
It's BJ and Melvin. No,
Okay.
BJ now goes by Melvin. And
Is
then
there
the
a
other
Chad
one,
Upton? What
there
am I
is
thinking?
not a Chad Upton. So he's
Who's
good.
the one that played for the Diamondbacks?
I don't know. That was BJ, I think. Melvin. That was Mel. I don't fucking know which Upton is which anymore. Justin. There's Justin Upton.
Justin.
Justin
That's the
Upton
name I was
played
thinking
here.
of, yes.
BJ is Melvin. They're
Okay.
the same guy.
Okay.
He changed his real name is Melvin. He changed it
Good
to
call.
Melvin.
That's a good.
Okay.
That's a good one to go from
So
too.
he's the number 8 prospect.
I think
There's not
Justin's just as white of a name as Chad.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Nothing is
sure
as white of a
is.
name as Chad. Nothing. There's no name as white as Chad. Maybe Heath, but outside of that, no, not Chad. That's never been.
Justin's a stupid name.
Justin's a very stupid name, but it's stupid, but less. It's like Florida white trash, but it's not. It's not. Which
Right.
that fits too.
Right.
But it's Tampa, but it's not. It's not Chad.
Justin.
Chad has a stink to it
I
that
don't
really
know.
is something different.
How
So
many
you
other
figure-
black guys are there named Justin? There can't be a lot.
Not a lot, but
No.
there's less than our name Chad. I'm going to say that. So, end of the season.
You
Fucking
meant
Chad.
more than named Chad, but I get what you're meant.
Yes, you know what I meant. I don't know what I said
It's
there.
funny because I was just trying to picture a black guy named Chad, and I
They
want
don't
to. I
exist.
want to meet one.
I've never met one. So, end of the season, he hasn't been arrested since April, and he's a number 8 prospect in their system.
Okay.
He's good now?
Yes.
Right?
Should
He's
be.
good now. October 12th, 2004, Gilbert calls the police and says that Dukes threw a can of soda and a candy jar at her.
What's with the food and drinks? he
Whatever's
throws?
in his hand.
Everything he's holding
That's it.
just
Was he at a
winged
4th
at you.
grader's birthday party?
Right.
What the fuck was he doing?
What is this?
Like a slice of cheap pizza that came afterwards. What the fuck is he doing?
a slice
can
of
of
those
soda.
$5 already ready pizzas, and he
Yeah,
just
exactly. Just
fucking
tossed it at her.
even it at the window.
You know that's what happened. So he threw a can of soda, a candy jar, a slice of pizza, and one of those flat sheet cakes with the terrible white icing at her. And it's so weird. No arrest is made here
Nothing.
for some reason. That seems.
Hey, can you assault somebody with a candy wrapper?
I think there was a goddamn soda can and a candy
That's a
jar,
good
not a
point.
wrapper. He threw a fucking
The
jar
whole jar.
a jar at her. So
I
I
think
mean,
that's assault.
That's assault,
Yeah.
I would say. If he hit her, it could have been way worse than a can of fucking soda hits
Yeah.
you. That'll hurt you.
If it's full, fuck, dude.
Oh my
that'll
God,
sting.
dude, that'll hurt. Like
That'll
a
break
bastard.
a bone.
October 25th, 2004. 2 weeks later, Gilbert files for an order of protection again. October 28th, 2004, the judge grants the protective order, bars Dukes from contacting her for 1 year.
What?
So now he's barred from contacting her for an entire year.
See, this is shitty.
Now, that was October 28th. October 31st, 2004, a judge grants an order of protection against Elijah from Carla Bryant.
Oh, no.
With the second
Both
kid,
women.
no contact for 1 year. What a busy week. So many people, just so many women to be legally protected against. It's just from, actually. I have so many women that need legal protection from me.
Right.
I have no time this week. Just no time. I got to go scare the shit out of more women. So I'm not allowed near them.
But it's not just that he's getting legally protected, that they're legally protecting themselves against him.
Yeah.
They've got kids with him.
Yes.
And that means that child can't see their father for at least a year.
Or if it has to be through relatives, or
Right.
it has to be some other
That's so
arrangement
fucked.
through the courts. They
Right.
can't just go, hey, can I pick the kid up Friday
Right.
at 8? Okay, goodbye.
Right.
That can't happen. Which, well, at least he's taken his problems off of the road
Yeah.
and into his home, I guess.
Yeah.
Although there's a victimless crimes on the road, and
Right.
here he's scaring the shit out of
Right.
women. But at least he's taking it out of the public,
Right.
whatever section and sector. But January 10th, 2005, he's cited for driving without a tag and on a suspended license.
What a dipshit.
Yeah, he's getting warm for the new year. That's
Yeah,
what he's
yeah.
doing. It's January 10th. He's getting his groove on.
Yeah.
January.
Just sticking with that old New Year's resolution to keep getting tickets.
Yeah, just going to keep doing it, man.
Yeah.
January 18th, 2005, Elijah. Jesus Christ. Again, this is the other one that really cracked me up. Not cracked me up, but this is such the tip of the iceberg, too. He quarrels, as they put it in the newspaper here. He gets in a fight with his sister, Katrina, okay? Is that she talked about earlier, that
Right.
whatever we talked to her saying, he said he was going to be an athlete. What happened is Katrina tells the police that he grabbed her by the throat and began punching her in the left arm.
More choking.
More choking. Yeah. Choking and punching or throwing. These are the two things he does.
This is his thing.
He's charged with battery for this, and he doesn't contest the charge. He's sentenced to 1 year of probation for this. So a charge was brought against him, and something happened.
But they keep giving him a year.
A year here, a year there. Right. His license is suspended for a year. He's got all sorts of shit.
1 year adds up.
Yes.
When it's extra charges that are for other things.
Yes.
Eventually, you just can't be around anybody and can't drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that was January 18th.
Right.
He just needs to be in his house. He needs to be quarantined, this fucking guy. He needs to be quarantined. That was the 18th. January 24th, 2005. 6 fucking days later.
Wow.
His ex-girlfriend, Zanquisha Jefferson. Her name is Zanquisha. That's a name.
There's no white girl's name Zanquisha.
No. There's as many white girls named Zanquisha as there are black guys named Chad. That's Zanquisha, the black Chad. That's what that is.
Chad, the white Zanquisha.
The white Zanquisha. So she files a request for prosecution, I guess files charges with the Tampa police saying that Dukes came to her home and guess what? Choked her. Of course he did. Choked her, forced her into a chair, squeezed her cheeks, and demanded that she kiss him.
What?
She says.
That's an interesting
No
way
files end up getting charged.
Yeah.
No charges end up being filed. I don't know. If someone comes into your home and chokes you and forcibly kisses you, there's a charge that should be pending at some point there. Here. This is insane. February 13th, 2005, he calls Tampa police because his home was victim to some criminal mischief.
Okay.
Some people did some shit to his house.
Yeah.
Who knows what? I don't know. They wrote bad driver on his garage door or something. I'm not sure. Shit driver, stop choking people.
Right.
Throw baseballs, not soda cans.
Right.
There's a lot of slogans they could put on there, really. March 10th, 2005, a woman named Chantel Mitchell has a DNA test on Dukes for a baby born June 7th, 2004.
Fuck.
Of course he's the father.
Oh, my God.
It's a boy, and the baby's name is Elijah Jr., which is actually the third.
Elijah
but she just calls him Elijah Jr.
She has no idea that he's a junior.
Doesn't give a fuck either. He's Elijah Jr. So now we have a guy who named his son Junior shot a guy, then the guy who is a junior is fucking up everywhere, and now he's going to have a junior. I pray for this child's soul because he is going to be chopping up Boy Scouts anytime now. They're going to find, I swear to God, they are. They're going to find, Girl Scout parts under his house. It's awful. So now he's got another kid. This is getting messy. How messy is this getting?
It's ridiculous.
This is getting ridiculous.
And it went so fast for me rooting for him.
I said it's not going to be long.
He gets charges the way boxers have fights.
That's right. This is I'm reading off. Like
6
January
days
24th,
later.
2006. He's in Vegas at the Mirage, punching the shit out of this guy. Fights 2 weeks later. Can you believe that? Well, that was March 10th, 2005. March 21st, 2005.
Oh, my God.
He is his license is suspended for failure to pay a fine. Yeah. It's suspended for 6 months.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit,
the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
I'm going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about TrueCar.
TrueCar.com.
TrueCar really is fantastic because I'm actually looking for a used car at the moment, and I'm using TrueCar exclusively, and it's really neat the way they have this graph.
Yeah.
That have you seen this? The graph, and it shows you like the average price, the above price, and like they have a great price. It's really cool, and
it's unbelievable.
I feel empowered, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That way you feel so when you go get the car and you can drive it home and you can feel proud about it and not feel like you got ripped off.
That's the thing. You want to see what others paid. That's the important part here. That way you know. In order to feel comfortable that you're getting a fair price, you need pricing context, information that empowers you to feel confident. With TrueCar, you'll see what other people in your local market paid for the car that you want. From there, you can connect with a local TrueCar certified dealer and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. TrueCar has over 3 million cars sold.
My goodness.
Over 13,000 dealers, over 700,000 pre-owned vehicles are available. Average savings of over $3,000 off MSRP. Once you register, you'll see real pricing on actual inventory. This is competitive pricing offered to you only by a TrueCar certified dealer for an actual vehicle on their actual lot. It's pricing you'll see before going to a dealership so you can feel confident when you show up. TrueCar customers are more likely to enjoy a faster buying process when they connect with TrueCar certified dealers while they save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP.
What a deal.
So let me tell you this from us. When you're ready to buy, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
Yes, that's true. But go to TrueCar.com to find out. And now back to the show.
May 5th, 2005, his license is suspended again for failure to appear again. They lump that in, and they'll say it'll be reinstated in September. June 1st, 2005, his license is suspended again for failing to appear on yet another ticket. Again, lumped in. It'll be reinstated in September.
Why does he still have it?
Why is that even a thing? Revoke it. You can't drive anymore,
You can't do it, man.
Sorry.
It's not,
you just
it's not
can't.
for you.
Taxis are your new
The other thing you need
around.
to do is figure out how to not fuck so much and
Stop.
make children.
Just stop. I don't care how much you fuck. Just stop making children.
Kids.
Stop it.
You drive as well as you pull out, sir.
And let's find out proof of that.
Yeah.
June 16th, 2005, Niche gives birth to another baby.
Oh, my God.
Another one. Another one. So
wait, no.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, she had an order of protection against him. Yeah. No, you nailed it.
How
you
did
got
we
the math right.
How did they get around?
I was looking at you going, are you going to say, yeah.
Why are they around each other to get pregnant?
Obviously, they're not going to stay away from each other. They're both addicted to fucking with each other.
Christ.
And who knows? She's like a normal person. She's a teacher. She keeps saying, well, he wants to change, and I want to give him a chance because he's the father of my children and blah, 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 which is reasonable. And then he comes in and fucking throws something at her and chokes her, and he's back out again. But before he does that, he does impregnate her as they take her away to jail.
Sure,
Make sure to drop one in her to make sure to have another
Throw
kid.
those biscuits up there because we got to have babies. Those are so necessary.
You bet your ass. So she adds that kid right onto the top of the child support claim.
You betcha.
So that's another pile on there.
Yeah, and that's kind of smart of her. I mean,
you have to. Yeah. What the hell?
If you want kids, at least do it with somebody that's going to be paying for it.
Yeah, no shit. On June 22nd, 2007, he goes on that terrible Rome is Burning show. Do you remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
With Jim Rome. Now, Jim Rome annoys the fuck out of me.
Does.
He's not a Skip Bayless to me, though. I don't have it because Jim Rome, Jim
Rome actually has good opinions.
Well, no, it's not even that. I just admire the fact that he's where he started, and he built a fucking he built an audience.
Yeah.
Like he
and
didn't
tons
just
of cash too.
Yeah, he didn't just build like a little, the ESPN gave me a job and I go on here and argue with black people for some reason, or Fox Sports gave me a job. He should be on Fox News, Skip Bayless.
call a guy fucking a girl's name, and
shit like
he embraces it.
No, not like that. Like Jim Rome, as much as like he's not my thing, like he's okay. The fact that he built this audience of like this thing, and I'm kind of impressed with that from two guys who make a podcast. like this that we're trying to build a movement here, and he kind of has that sort of thing. But
he's just got some stupid shit that's involved in his show.
Yeah, his listeners are stupid. He's got like he's got a real.
You said it. His listeners are stupid.
He's got a real
as fuck.
Rogan thing going on where it's like, I like the show, but God, some of these listeners are fucking brain damaged, man. It's like it's the same thing with Rome. People call in and they have like 12 catchphrases they say first, and he's like, all right, get to your shit already. Yes, I get it. He's got to be annoyed.
Give me your take.
Why did I fucking build this? These people suck. But he gets paid. So, but that was a terrible show on television. The Rome is Burning show is terrible.
Of course.
He goes on here to try to explain himself.
Did he take calls on Rome is Burning?
I think he did, yeah. I'm not
that's
sure.
the problem.
He's had 12 incarnations of TV shows, so I have no idea if that's the one. The only one I love is when he had the one back in the day in like 1990 when Jim Everett threw the table over on him and tipped him over in his chair because he kept calling him Chris
Everett.
Which was great. That was fantastic.
That's a female tennis player, right?
That was a female tennis player, not a quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. So August...
Call me Chris Everett again and I'll punch you in the face.
He goes,
all right,
go ahead
Chris.
and call me. He goes, all right. And that look on here, that's from Chris. And then you just see table fly up, Jim Rome fly backwards. Jesus Christ.
Didn't he sue him for that too? Or was that just like a bit?
He might have. And then he no, it wasn't a bit at all. Jim Everett stood over him like, you getting up, motherfucker? Because Jim Everett, you can call him what you want. He was a shit quarterback, but he's like 6'5", 230 pounds. He'll pummel you. And he's a professional football player. He's strong. His hands are enormous. He can throw a huge football 40 yards.
The slowest white guy on a football field is still a fucking athletic white guy.
Yes, especially compared to Jim Rome sitting behind his desk. So anyway, August 4th, 2005, after he's explained everything to the national media, everything's fine. He's ticketed for driving without a license again. Stop driving. Someone give him a fucking ride. Get him a ride. Somebody. August 8th, 2005, Dukes is ordered to pay Chantel Mitchell $881.73 per month in child support until...
The payments are getting steep.
Well, that's until he has $10,871 in retroactive payment. Once he pays that off, the payment will drop to $734.78 per month.
That's still pretty steep.
Dude, this was so hard to find all this shit, man, as you can imagine.
That's so much.
And I forgot.
Yeah.
He plays fucking baseball. Remember that?
He's not just like a serial woman fucker and baby maker and shitty driver.
Nope, still playing baseball.
This guy plays baseball? Get out of here.
This year, I plays for the Montgomery Biscuits of AA. 120 games, 446 at-bats. He hits .287 with 18 home runs, 73 RBI, and 19 steals.
Jesus.
Great year.
Yeah.
More into power.
Playing for the Biscuits?
It's playing for the Biscuits.
That's hilarious.
It is.
That's hilarious because that's what it's called when you leave the jizz up there.
There you go.
Throwing biscuits.
Baseball America names him the number 5 prospect in the system.
Yeah.
And in the years 2004, 5, and 6, he's rated by them as the best athlete in their entire system.
Jesus.
So that's the type of guy he is here. An article on him, and this is minorleagueball.com in 2005, October 6th, that says, quote, Dukes has a reputation for making a good effort on the field. He plays hard and hustles most of the time, but the root of his problem comes from what the press refers to cryptically as a, quote, problem with authority and anger management issues. He argues with umpires at the drop of the hat. He gets ejected frequently. He isn't considered to be especially a supportive teammate.
Yeah.
So he's just a dick, is what they're saying.
He's yelling at umpires. He's not going to be he's not going to be a good teammate either.
November 7th, 2005, he gets a ticket for failing to observe a traffic light. How careful would you be driving if you were this guy? 10 and 2.
Careful.
Speed limit, directionals, and every...
Slow lane all day.
Slow lane. I would not be fucking doing anything to draw any attention to myself on the road. December 28th, 2005, his license is suspended again, this time for failing to pay child support. It'll be reinstated in August of 2006 if he makes his payments. What a busy year.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now maybe we think he's going to follow some rules probably.
Yes.
He's already home. He's having kids. Well, let's get another one in there because things are going so great for him.
Another kid?
No. Don't worry. There will be more kids.
No.
But this is not a different thing. February 27th, 2006, Dukes and Nishay Gilbert, what am I going to say? Get in a fight? Kill each other?
Get arrested together?
They get fucking married.
No!
Of course they do. Because things are going so well, you need to get married. He's breaking every rule. He's in Tampa marrying. Terrible. Don't Don't do it.
He's
Run.
marrying a woman that's got a fucking protective order against him. This
all
is
the
crazy.
time. Stop. She shouldn't. Wow. So that was.
Why is she doing this?
February 27, 2006. May 1st, 2006, she files for divorce. So that was
short-lived.
Claiming Dukes married her to avoid child support payments.
All right.
She also says he's abusive. She says, quote, "We went to the courthouse in Brandon and got married, and things have gone downhill ever since. My life has been turned upside down since I've been dealing with him." She says that's so. My life turned upside down since I've been dealing with him.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with him. May 11th, 2006, license is suspended for failing to pay traffic fines. June 5th, 2006, Gilbert dismisses her divorce petition.
What?
Never
How do you
mind.
dismiss?
Never mind. Change her mind.
I'm going to keep him.
So he's got so much shit going on. He was slated to return from a 5-game suspension, but then they just said, you know what? We're going to have a big investigation of all this type of shit. They just suspend him. The International League suspends him indefinitely for the rest of the year.
What?
After, he was suspended once, and then he was, again, had another problem arguing balls and strikes with umpires. So they're suspending him for the rest of the year because he can't stop arguing with umpires. But he stays busy, Jimmy. Don't worry. August 4th, 2006, he's stopped by Tampa police for driving on a suspended license.
God damn it.
That is the day it's supposed to be reinstated, by the way. He's got it right there. So he's going, I don't know, am I in trouble or not? I think I got a license today. I was driving yesterday, so it really doesn't matter. August 24th, 2006, sheriff's deputies arrest Gilbert.
Yep.
They arrest Nishay after police are called to an argument between the two of them. Apparently, she scratched his back and arms during a confrontation and fight they got in, so they arrest her. They
are fucking terrible together.
They're awful. He later drops the charges.
Of course he does.
Again, someone's changing these shitty diapers and it ain't me.
Right.
Oh, yeah, he plays fucking baseball. Forgot about that, too. Durham Bulls that year and AAA that year, so he's going up. They just keep raising him up. 80 games, he hits .293 with 10 homers and 50 RBI. Now, during that year, Coach Richie Hebner, who's a hitting coach for the Bulls, apparently gave him a critique of his something with hitting.
That was a bad idea.
Dukes choked him with both hands.
Fuck you mean lay down the bunt?
According to witnesses, quote, raising him a good 2 inches off the ground.
He picked him up by his
neck. He
neck.
lifted him by his throat for telling him that he wasn't keeping his back elbow up enough. Or you
that
keep your head steady through your follow through, and he was like, "Fuck that!" and choked him. Another teammate, a guy named Kevin Cash, who ended up playing for the Red Sox, said, "Quote: That wasn't a fun year, and that's what all I have to say about it."
Wow,
like Dukes terrorized everybody.
That's all I have to say about that.
But in 2006, like I said, he was named the top pure athlete by the in their organization by Baseball America, and Knox, the roommate he choked, said he's a freak. He's so good. He said after he said what an asshole he is. He's like, he's amazing though on the field.
And that was when he was talking about his choking abilities. He can also play baseball.
And he noticed the same thing, Duke, in himself. He was self-aware enough, and we have an in their own words about this whole thing. It's been a lot up to now for an in their own words. Let's get it all out and see what he says. In their own words, quote: I have no idea when or if I'll be back. I packed up all my stuff and I'm heading home. To be honest, I don't even know about baseball anymore. Everything is just wearing on me, and this year has just been so frustrating. I'm trying to keep my nose clean and keep to myself, but things just keep getting turned around. I'm tired of it. I just don't know about baseball anymore. I'm not saying I should have tried to go to the NFL, but maybe I should have done something else. All this stuff keeps following me, and now this. I'm tired of it. I don't know if I'm coming back or what. I don't know about the fall league. I don't know about anything other than I'm going home.
Yeah.
Out of there. That's when he's suspended for the rest of the year. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. Gilbert, the girlfriend, starts telling her wife at this point, starts telling people that he has been diagnosed bipolar, which would not surprise me at all. This guy needs some kind of medication.
He's definitely something.
But Tyrone Evans, his brother, says this does not tell the whole story. He says that, quote, Elijah's made some mistakes, but I'm the same guy who witnessed him break down everything every time something goes wrong with one of his friends. If anything happened, he would be there for them. And I'm the same person who at his graduation party witnessed him crying. He has a big heart and he's very emotional. Yeah, he's unstable, it sounds like.
It's called fucking mental health.
It's called chemical imbalance, and you have swings here.
He's ill. He's sick.
It's what it seems like to me, but it never comes out. They never
They never diagnose him as sick.
September 19th, 2006, his license is suspended again for failing to show proof of insurance, like a fucking moron. September 20th, 2006, Dukes and Chantel Mitchell, one of his baby's mothers here, reach a settlement allowing their child to live with him for 6 months of the year when he's in Tampa. Child support is suspended, and he informally agrees to pay for the child's expenses.
Okay.
So now at least he doesn't have a payment looming over him.
Right.
He just has to take care of the kid.
He has half the year, she has half the year.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. That's
everybody's
50-50.
equal.
Right.
2006 fall year league. He plays out in Arizona here. He plays for the Phoenix Desert Dogs, which I didn't know that was a team that existed here.
I had no idea.
Plays in 8 games, 313 average, 2 homers, 8 RBI there. Okay. That's 2 homers in 8 games.
Are they what the Firebirds turned into?
No. It's the fall league. It's a different thing. It's not the minors.
Where do the Firebirds go? Are they gone now?
Yes, I believe they're gone. I don't remember where they went, though.
I don't know.
I think they're gone.
I'm
lost. Tucson. They went to Tucson.
Did they?
Didn't they end up doing
who
Tucson?
gives a shit?
Being the Sidewinders or
they
whatever?
They definitely were not a draw. I'll say that.
Because they were the Giants team. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, 2007 here. January 15th, 2007. Dukes and a passenger of his, Willie Evans, who is his older brother, are arrested during a traffic stop after Tampa police find about 2 grams of marijuana in the car.
Now we got problems.
There we go.
He went from driving like shit to actually having drugs in the car.
Each, they're charged with a misdemeanor count of marijuana possession, each of them. March 8th, 2007, child support for Dukes and Gilbert here is settled through mediation.
Oh.
Look at that. These two should always have a mediator with them. Always.
They allowed somebody to work it out for them.
A guy should, or woman, or a person should sleep between them in their bed and mediate. He wants to touch your titty. Is that okay with you? She says, okay, fine, but you're not putting it in her butt tonight. Is that like they need to go back and forth?
He said he needs to have sex with you, and she said, is that okay with you? Yes. Okay, well, I will put the condom on him because
let's make
that
sure.
will not be inside you without it.
Child support payments are suspended, and past money is waived. They're going to do an informal agreement here. Now, he also plays fucking baseball, as we remember. And he plays it apparently so well, he makes the Tampa Bay Devil Rays opening day Major League roster.
Wow.
He fucking plays
a Major League game.
He plays, makes the opening day roster while all of this shit's going on.
Right.
He plays mainly center field that year. April 2nd, 2007 is opening day in Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
He is in Yankee Stadium opening day, first Major League game. He steps up there against Carl Pavano in his first at bat and launches a fucking home run out into the black section, not where they make black people sit, but a section that's tarped off with a black tarp that we call the black section in center field Yankee Stadium. Well, I wanted to make sure people didn't go.
I know, but it sounds
You never know. People hear America's racist. If someone in New Zealand's like, they make the blacks sit in a section, that's terrible. I don't want anybody thinking that. It's a section tarped off with a black tarp, so that's why it's called that. And it's very far from home plate and really hard to hit out there. And he crushes one out there. Goes 1 for 3 in the game. Good sign, though. That's his first Major League at bat. No pressure. 55,000 people in the stands. He crushes it. Hits another homer the next day.
Wow.
So not too shabby, man. That is not bad. I actually remember that, too, that game. Yes, I do. I remember watching it. April 4th, 2007, he is good now.
Yeah.
He's good now. Fluff pieces are starting to come out.
Really?
There's one fluff piece.
They clearly haven't seen his fucking driving record.
Oh, no. Articles on how it's all fine now because he hit 2 home runs. So now it's okay. It's all behind him.
Doesn't
now that he's hit home
anymore.
runs. It's fine. Elijah said about his recovery here as a person, he said, quote, the anger would just take over. Now when something happens, I can kind of switch sides and think about how the other person is thinking and how I can make it different.
Yeah.
So this is grace.
Putting himself in other people's shoes already. What a nice guy.
This is grace. And I considered calling grace right after his dad killed a guy.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe that would be anticlimactic.
A little premature.
But that really was grace. He hadn't been arrested yet. April 26th, 2007. A woman named Portia Daniels files a paternity suit. Included in the suit is a positive DNA test result for old Elijah. Of course.
What the fuck?
Exactly. Baby was born July 19th, 2006. Not quite a year old. So if that's not enough to cause some strife in the marriage, April 30th, 2007, Nishay is at school where she teaches at Beth Shields Middle School in Tampa. She is in her classroom at the middle school while the students are at lunch. She's in her classroom like grading papers and shit, and there's other teachers there. When all of a sudden she hears a banging on the door. Another teacher answered the door. Not a knock, a banging. Other teacher answered the door, and I'll let her say what happened here. She said, quote, It was Elijah, my husband, coming toward me at my desk stating he was going to beat my ass and kill me.
Wow.
That's what he did in school in front of witnesses and other people at a middle school, for Christ's sake.
What fight provokes that?
That's what I don't know. She's mad at you because you have another fucking illegitimate kid.
No, but I mean, so why do you show up? How do you show up and go, bitch, I'm going to beat your ass? How do you even do that?
No fucking idea. He later he left the room. He walked the school's halls.
Yeah.
And Gilbert and the other teacher ran to the school's office to get the principal, to call the cops.
Yeah.
She said, quote, I told them to get the deputy because he was acting out of his mind. I told them, just have him escorted off. I don't want him to go to jail. Just make him leave. A deputy tried to calm him down. The principal came. He yelled at Dukes. Gilbert said the principal yelled at him like a kid, admonished him. He was ordered to leave campus.
As if a principal can fucking tell him how to behave. A cop can't even do it.
But hey, it's weird. I don't know if maybe that he it's like a coach. Well, then again, he choked his coach, so never mind.
Maybe this is going to turn things around for him.
Maybe. That's what I think. He's good now. They gave him a trespass warning, not to do it again. It said on the thing, estranged wife as employee. He came to see her. Very irate. So I would say yes. On the paper it says very irate. So May 1st, the next day, she files a protective order against him again now. Yeah. Let's do that. Things were just fine 2 months ago.
Yeah.
What a mess. May 14th, 2007, the judge throws the petition for protection out because Gilbert fails to show up for a court hearing.
Okay.
She says she missed the hearing because one of her children had to be taken to the hospital. Which, if that's true, that's a fair excuse for pretty much anything. May 17th, 2007, 3 days later, she files for another petition.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting.
Now it does?
Now it gets interesting.
Him showing up to school to beat her ass.
He hasn't done the two worst things he's going to do yet, okay? Let's put it that way. This is crazy. She said she has received death threats from him in recent weeks, including a message that he left on her phone, a voicemail that she left on her phone. He left on her phone on May 2nd, okay? This is fucking nuts. Okay. This is after that incident. And you could think he goes to the school, freaks out. She files an order of protection the next day. Next day after that, he's retaliating. Okay. Now, what he does, he sends her a text message with a photo of a handgun. Just a photo of a handgun. And then he leaves her a voicemail. And I'm going to say N-word on this just because I'm not going to do. Okay. So he says, in their own words on this, I guess, quote, this is the mother of his children, quote, hey, dog, it's on, dog. You dead, dog. I ain't even bullshitting. Your kids too, dog. It don't even matter to me who's in the car with you. N-word, all I know is N-word. When I see you, your motherfucking ass riding, dog, it's on. As a matter of fact, I'm coming to your motherfucking house.
He said that to a woman.
Click.
He said it to the mother of his children.
He said that into a recording.
He said into a recording, he called the mother of his children dog.
Dog and the N-word and said, I'm coming to your motherfucking house. I don't get... Your kids, too. Those are his kids.
Your kids,
not
sir.
Your kids. They're his kids. Don't even matter to me who's in the car with you. What the fuck?
Wow.
When I see your motherfucking ass riding, dog, it's on. Whoa. She also says, that Dukes called her and said to check her cell phone, and that's when she also saw the text message of the handgun after this. Like, hey, by the way, I also have, I'm not kidding.
James, sometimes you and your ex-wife don't get along.
Not like this.
Would you say that?
We never don't get along like this. We're just like,
would you ever say that?
It's not, we don't fight or anything.
Crazy.
This is insanity.
That's bananas.
Drop the kids off and go on your way. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Move on. She said also in the order, she said, quote, Elijah continues to call me, telling me he's going to kill me and texting me pictures of a gun. I'm scared for my life and my kid's life. She didn't call the police about those threats, saying that she saw the restraining order as an alternative way to protect herself, saying that people kept telling me it would mess up his career. And for her, that's money, too. So it's another thing where you're like, do I fuck up his money that's also coming to me?
Yeah, but he just...
at that point, who knows?
After that phone call, who the fuck cares?
She plays the voicemail, and the judge grants the petition, obviously. Now, the mother, Phyllis, Mama Gilretha Award nominee here, says that the incident was triggered by Nishay's withdrawal of thousands of dollars from a bank account. She said that's what she filed a protection order. She probably filed a protection order, took some money out so she could get out of the fucking house, and that's what you do.
But he said,
I'm going to kill you. Phyllis Duke said that she later returned the money.
I don't care who's in the car, dog.
Your kids. Your kids, too. Threatened
your kids, too, dog.
Dog?
It's on, dog.
N-word? Yeah. So he did use the A, too. He didn't go hard R on her.
Good for him.
So
makes it so much more loving.
Yeah, she said that she returned the money. Gilbert returned the money, but not till after they had a fight at the baseball field. They had a fight at Tropicana Field. She disputes the story, Nishay. She says, quote, I'm not going to feed into that. She texts a reporter, quote, how can I steal money when we are married with 2 kids and on a joint account? And later on, she also said, all I want for my husband is for him to get help. No shit.
I mean, she's... Yes and no.
Yeah. She then goes on to say...
You're right. It's not technically stealing, but it's still fucking stealing.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
You know what? If someone barges in and threatens to kill you at work... and you have to get out of that situation. Yeah. How are you going to get out of that situation?
But you also
take some of the money to go get out of that situation.
Somebody that just threatened to kill you.
No, but she didn't have much choice.
All she has to do is take his ass to court, and she's going to win.
Maybe, and then he might not pay child support and just get his license suspended again.
He's going to go to jail if he doesn't pay it.
And then are you getting paid? You're still not getting your money.
No, man.
Fuck, it's brutal,
it's
man.
So shitty.
May 23rd, 2007, Gilbert says, quote, he's trying to act like he's made a change. He's made no changes. He's gotten worse. He says that he plays baseball, baseball and no one can fuck with him. I don't think that I should live in fear. When the Rays go out of town, I come home. When they're at home, I go stay with my mother. I shouldn't have to live like that because he's a baseball player.
She's not wrong.
She's fucking scared of him. Phyllis, again, Mama Gilretha here, described Nishay as a woman scorned who is having trouble with the couple's breakup.
Oh,
she said, quote, he moved on with his life. She was hurting a lot. I'll be glad when they're divorced or separated. We'll all be glad when they're divorced. His agent sticks up for him, too. Silver-haired middle-aged white men start coming out of the woodwork for him here because he can hit home runs. Scott Puccino questioned whether Nishay's motives in making the allegations were just for money.
You don't get to speculate that,
Not
sir.
this guy. He says, quote, I don't know those allegations to be true. I do know I think she's clearly using the media to leverage this divorce proceeding.
Oh,
There's money involved, and unfortunately she's going to the media.
Agents are scumbags, man.
Also, it's ridiculous. And then he goes on to say what he says, quote, he's made a lot of strides, but obviously this is something that certainly requires our attention. That's what a Devil Rays executive said, because, again, silver-haired, middle-aged, crazy. Media approached Dukes during batting practice that day when it happened, and he just declined to discuss the allegations. He said, quote, I'm just going to play ball. That's it. I've got to go. I've got a video game to finish. So that's how much he gives a shit about it.
Playing or actually trying to help develop?
Going to play. No, he's going to play. Got a game in the clubhouse. He's going to take his swings and then go back and play in the clubhouse.
Wow.
That's what baseball players do in the clubhouse. He then referred to a statement. The team president basically put out a statement for him. And he said, just look at that statement that other guy wrote. It said, quote, the end of our marriage is a personal matter for my wife and me. Out of respect for my family, especially my children, I wish to keep our proceedings private. Well, that's not going to happen because you keep getting arrested.
And hot dogs are 2 for $1 down at the stadium this weekend.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, my God. Andrew Friedman, who is the silver-haired, middle-aged white man team's executive vice president of baseball operations, said he was aware of the marital strife but knew nothing about the allegations of threats. He said, quote, I think it's premature to comment on it. This is the first that I've heard of it. The only knowledge we have is that this was a messy divorce, but obviously not to the extent that she's stating.
Then Thursday's bobblehead day.
Listen, she's fine. Come on down to the stadium, get yourself a Rocco Baldelli bobblehead.
Bring the kiddos, why don't you?
Let's go.
Jesus. It's a family affair down here. He's going to be beating the shit out of his wife at the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah. So they contacted Carla Bryant and said, well, why did you file a protection order against him? And she said that she was going through some complicated issues. Her grandfather was ailing, and Dukes was trying to be more involved in the daughter's life. And she said, quote, we've resolved an issue that we probably could have dealt with ourselves. But as far as anything domestic, I haven't had any altercations with him recently, and anything in the past, I'd like to leave it there. He hasn't been crazy lately.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it stays. Let's just not rock the boat. She also says she has no complaints about the way he treats the child. Nobody has complained that he's mean to the kids ever. That's one thing. He's always nice to the kids, I guess, unless he's throwing something at a mother or holding one. But he doesn't beat the kids or kick the kids or call them shitheads or anything like that.
And that's fine and all, but they see how you treat their mother, and that's not fucking healthy either. Now back to the show.
Yeah, so at this point, he's got 5 kids by 4 women, by the way. That's a lot of fucking kids here.
Doing great.
Let's get more.
Yeah.
June 12th, 2007, a 17-year-old foster child living with Elijah Duke's grandmother tells police that he impregnated her.
Oh, my God.
They think that the sex was consensual and there's no crime committed, and I'll tell you why, because the age of consent in Florida is 18. If the other person is 24 or younger, it's 16.
What?
So if you're 21, you can fuck a 16-year-old, but if you're 25, you can only fuck an 18-year-old, and he was 23.
That is horrific.
Just in under the radar, yeah.
He is, oh my God.
Yeah.
He is 23 years old with all of this.
All of this? He's only 23, he has 5 kids, he's got all this shit going on. There was an anonymous tip that told police to look into the matter. It was at the home of his step-grandmother, Johnny Johnson is her name. She told police that the teen girl lived in her home until she turned 18. She said that she learned about the pregnancy right before the girl left the home. The baby's due November 5th. The investigator said that she and Dukes had consensual sex on the living room sofa. She said Dukes got angry when she and another person confronted him about the pregnancy. Quote, yeah, we sat down and told him, and he got mad and threw a Gatorade at me. There you go. So that's his thing. At least he didn't choke her.
What the fuck?
He will not be charged with the crime, like we said. His wife is super pissed.
I'm sure.
Super pissed.
Can you imagine? What would you do?
That's not going to fly. On a 17-year-old, too.
No.
She said,
you banged a 17-year-old foster child at your grandmother's house.
On the couch.
On the couch.
She said,
and then hucked a Gatorade bottle at her when you found out she was pregnant.
Oh, my God. She said, it's hurtful to find out that this might have happened when we were married, but it's not a surprise. It's not a shock. Anything is expected from Elijah.
Oh, my God.
No shit. Now, the grandmother said that she doesn't understand it because he occasionally stopped by the home, but he never stayed for very long.
Yeah.
She knows that he met the teen, but didn't think there was any relationship between the pair. She said, quote, if they were seeing each other, it had to be real sneaky because I've never seen Elijah or her, they don't have her name because she's only 17, like when you like somebody, you make giggly eyes or something. Like he never even talked to her that I know of.
Giggly eyes.
Yeah, she said, quote, they never showed any interest in each other. I thought they was mean to each other. They just didn't like each other, honestly. That's what she felt because then there was animosity and she didn't know what happened. So she was just like, I just thought something went wrong and they didn't like each other anymore.
Yeah.
Now, Tampa Bay Devil Ray management said that they would not comment on the investigation, and neither will he. Team spokesman Chris Costello said, quote, he will not discuss personal matters. His mother, Phyllis, Mama Gilretha here, said, quote, he was doing so well on the field. He's doing so good. It's just every time he turns around, there's something coming at him.
Right.
Yeah, like a 17-year-old girl's vagina. Right. That's what was coming at him.
17-year-old pussy just being thrown at him.
Jesus Christ, man.
No, the guy can't stop fucking. He can't stop fucking and making children. What the shit?
June 20th, 2007.
He's 23 years old.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Not even yet, actually. He'll be 23 the end of this month.
Unbelievable.
June 20th, 2007, he calls a Fort Lauderdale radio show on WDAE and goes off on his ex-wife. In their own words, quote, I know if I'd stayed with her, I'd physically be in prison because she provoked me by hitting me. She done hit me across the head with a picture frame and everything. I hate that because I told my kids I would never go back to jail for no domestic violence. You know what, Jimmy? My dad once, when I was a young boy, he sat me on his lap and he told me the same thing. He said, your mama hit me across the head with a picture frame and everything, but I will never go to jail for no domestic violence. That's a real word cleaver teaching moment right there.
And mine said something like, it's on, dog. I don't care who you're riding with.
Who you riding with.
As soon as I see you riding, dog, it's on.
He also, in this, talks about his mom's crack sales, and then his mom calls in and talks about her crack sales. It's amazing. He says about his mom's crack crack sales, quote, just like the Bible says, if you know it's not true, you don't have to say anything, and I haven't been saying anything. But I will say something about this situation with my mom out of my mouth because everybody knows I do love my mom. And I am tough on my mom, but I know for a fact I never told nobody my mom smoked crack because that would be a lie on my behalf. She never told me, and I never caught her.
I love when they try to say things that sound smart.
She never told me, and I never caught her. Doesn't mean you don't think she smoked crack. That means I never saw it in front of my eyes. Phyllis, heard him on the radio and called in again. Okay. She said, quote, his father and his crackhead mother, it follows him. That's what people think. It brings out his temper. She's blaming herself.
This?
No,
his mom.
His mom, Phyllis. She's blaming herself for everything he's done. Wow. It brings out his temper. Ever since he was in high school, every little thing he did was in the paper. Nothing good. She blames everyone else and the pressure. She admitted on the radio that she dealt crack cocaine for a while, but said she never used it, and she has no criminal record at all, the mother.
As the radio host of that show, you would be doing backflips.
They were.
She is talking about selling rock. Can you guys
he calls
this?
up and goes off.
Yeah.
They talk to Chantrell Mitchell. She says that he's a great dad. He said, we're not in a relationship, but he calls me every day to talk to my child.
MLB, on the other hand, is like, shut that motherfucker
Shut everyone
up.
the fuck up here, yeah.
But this is John Rocker and his wife, essentially.
Pretty
this
much.
Is great.
This is Elijah Jr. she's talking about. She said that he likes to puts his baseball glove on and likes to play baseball. I'm like, no more. Stop. No.
Keep that kid
book.
fucking...
Give him a book. No more baseball. No one.
Read him Cat in the Hat.
July 2007, there's a divorce proceeding here with Nishay here. She testifies accusing her husband of smoking weed every day and using steroids. Also. Steroids remained in question at the end of the 2.5-hour hearing, but he did admit under oath that he smokes marijuana daily, and Judge Kevin Carey ordered Dukes to take random drug tests for marijuana.
He admitted it under oath.
So while all this is going on, the Devil Rays list him as day-to-day on the injury report, citing personal reasons. Then they end up putting him on the inactive list and just taking him off for the rest of the year. They say, quote, to take some time away from the field and focus on his personal life, reevaluate everything, and most importantly, allow him an opportunity away from the spotlight. Not brought back for the rest of the season. Oh, yeah, he played baseball. Fuck. That season, 52 games, 184 at-bats. He only hit 190 with 10 home runs, 21 RBI, but Jesus Christ, he was a little distracted.
A smidge. He's got phone calls to make.
A little bit. He makes $380,000 for the year, though.
That's good.
Not too bad. August 4th, 2007, he may face jail time of up to 1 year for violating a protective order against Nishay. Obviously, he was charged with 1 count of violating a protective order, and it's a first-degree misdemeanor. 2007-2008, he plays in the Dominican Winter League. Has words with a catcher and an umpire in his first at-bats. And his first at-bat makes suggestive gestures to the crowd after being hit by a pitch, and then is ejected after attacking an umpire.
What are the suggestive...
grabbing his dick and shit like that.
Is that it? After getting hit by a pitch?
Yeah, because the crowd was booing him for going after, for talking shit.
So he jerks his dick in their general direction.
So he's like, yeah, fuck you. Okay. Whatever. Gave him the finger, just suggestive gestures, and then he tries to attack the umpire after he's ejected.
Now there's the part.
Yeah. He hits 236 in 18 games there. December 3rd, fucking Rays have had enough of this shit. They trade him. Someone's willing to take him. Washington Nationals, they get him in exchange for Glenn Gibson, who was a left-handed pitcher who played 5 years all in the minors. December 10th, 2007. Another woman, Amanda Reese, a 23-year-old woman, says she dated Elijah Dukes. She files a domestic violence charge against him in Florida. She is granted a temporary injunction of protection against domestic violence on December 10th, a week after the trade. Reese says that Dukes sent her a text message on October 23rd that stated she would, quote, have to deal with the consequences and, quote, don't let me see you when I come home. It's a promise. Now make your move.
Oh, boy.
That's some threatening shit.
It's a promise, James.
It's a promise. Yeah. Citing Reese's petition to the court, she wrote, at this point, I fear for me and my child's life due to Duke's past history with his estranged wife. They tried to reach her to interview her. They couldn't, but they did get a hold of Scott Puccino, the agent, silver-haired, middle-aged dickhead. He says, quote, I don't know a lot about it. I do know that it's an old issue that happened before the Washington Nationals got him. That I do know. I'm not allowed to make a lot of comments with the legal process still complete. It happened a week before. They got traded a week before. That's the thing. It happened. So... What are you talking about?
All the legal shit's
It's fine. It's all under the car rug now.
Yeah.
That shit happened that was like a week ago. That shit's over now. That's old shit. That's old shit
this
there.
Is ridiculous.
Jesus Christ, now he's got restraining orders coming from everywhere, suspended for the whole season. Fucking good God, what is he even doing? Driving?
Not playing baseball.
Yeah. Is he driving?
For once, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Maybe they impounded his car. He's got to walk.
Oh, Christ, I hope so.
He's walking through a bad neighborhood. He passes a building, and all of a sudden, somebody pops out, gets right in his face, and it's Estevez Jones, MMA fighter and 70s blaxploitation film villain. And he says... Motherfucker, how is it you come to arrive here? Nah, for real, motherfucker. Now listen to me. You be on the phone, motherfucker. They're recording that. That's a recording. It's a voicemail, motherfucker. Don't you? I even know that shit. I'm from the 70s. You don't talk on the phone. What the fuck wrong? What the fuck kind of criminal is you, man?
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Mother, you just now listen to me. You be pissing me off, motherfucker. Yeah, I get it. My daddy got locked up too. You don't think my pops went to jail when I was a kid? He went to jail too. I didn't start beating up women. You know what I started doing? I took over his empire. That's what I did. I started selling. I got on the corner. I got my girls out. That's what I did. I'm about to break the tip of my alligator off in the crack of your ass, motherfucker. You pissing me off. You pissing me off.
Tip of my alligator.
Poof. And in a puff of mink and gold and cheetah print, he's gone. And Elijah's extremely confused, but things are more straight in his mind. He feels like... He's sitting there going, he told me, motherfucker, get you a CB radio, and he doesn't understand why that is, and then he realizes he's from the 70s.
Right.
Joe Madden, the manager of the Devil Rays, is very excited that Elijah's gone.
Joe Madden, that's the,
the Cubs
coach
manager.
Yeah,
he's very excited to be gone rid of Elijah. Yeah. He says that it feels like a weight's been lifted off with Duke's gone, and he says, quote, it feels a whole lot better here. He's just like, that fucking lunatic.
Nobody's running around talking about when I see you riding.
Yeah, I wanted to tell him to, put his body into his throws a little more, but I wanted to choke me off the ground.
How many times do you think he said that to an umpire? Motherfucker, when I see you riding.
Yeah, I see you riding, your motherfucking ass riding. Who's in the car? So he goes to the Nationals. The Nationals hire an ex-police officer in the role of, quote, special assistant for player concerns. This is Duke's babysitter. He has a babysitter. For player concerns. In other words, babysitter.
That is crazy. That's crazy talk for babysitter.
They hire an ex-cop to go everywhere with him. Yeah. Even when he's out doing BP, this cop goes through his pockets in the locker room and shit to make sure he doesn't have drugs on him or anything. They try to make sure he's not fucking up.
Or a cell phone to be making threats on.
Exactly. They put him in counseling.
He's putting condoms in his pockets.
Yeah, please, like taking the drugs out, putting condoms in there. That's great. Here you go, buddy. He's in counseling.
Yeah.
They have him working with Barry Larkin, who's a Hall of Famer here, trying to, because he's like known as like the most upstanding guy ever.
He was so clean.
So they go to him, and he said, Duke says, quote, I was in a shell and they forced me to get out, especially hanging around Barry. He smiles all day.
Yeah.
So like, look, here, be like him.
Look at this guy.
Look at him. Isn't he great?
Smile on this
you
motherfucker.
can be a rich guy. It's a Hall of Famer that everybody loves if you just stop beating up women and driving. It's
a handsome dude too, Barry Larkin.
He is a handsome guy.
He's just a big, clean complexion, just a picturesque baseball player.
Not too
that
shabby.
was awesome.
March 28th, 2008, he's absent from the team's final day of spring training so he could be in court to answer a misdemeanor charge that he violated a domestic violence injunction.
Fuck.
Opening day is the next day.
Where you at, Barry?
Come on, Barry. He plays and injures his hamstring, and he's out for a month.
Perfect.
So he's out for a month. He comes back July 5th. He hurts his knee, has to have minor surgery. He's out almost another month again. They talk about some private stuff here. His Gilbert has the restraining order against him, and they get a divorce. They're in the middle of a divorce, but he's still allowed to see his kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes he brings his other kids by the park and has all his kids running around.
All these fucking kids.
Yeah. Who was that? Riddick Bowe did the same thing.
Yeah,
Bring
Riddick
more
Bowe,
kids to see these kids.
Sean Kemp.
Yeah. It was someone we covered.
Yeah.
He also has 25 games in the minors that year doing injury rehab.
Speaking of Riddick Bowe, that motherfucker just had an article, a GoFundMe set up for him.
I saw that. Yeah. It's all over our Twitter.
Mess.
It's funny.
It's
Everyone's
a
making fun of him.
mess.
He plays with 3 different teams, 25 games. He hits 203 there. So it's September 11th, 2008 versus the Mets in New York.
Yep.
He hits a homer off Pelfrey, the pitcher, in the second inning. The next at bat, the first pitch he saw was slightly inside. It was not. He didn't hit him with it. Okay. It wasn't even close. It wasn't like I'm buzzing your face. Dukes immediately gets pissed off and starts jawing with him. Pelfrey said, I quote, I clearly wasn't trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Other people ran out of the dugout to restrain Dukes and hold him back.
He wanted to charge the mound, or did he charge the mound?
He wanted to fight about it. And Jerry Manuel said, quote, at first I thought the ball went behind him the way he reacted. I said to catcher Brian Schneider, where was the ball? He said it was almost a strike. And then the guy said, well, what am I doing out here then? I might get beat up. Like, he was like, he must have hit him with it. And they all came out and they're like, well, why are we scuffling if it was almost a strike? And they're like, I don't know. He's like, well, what am I standing here getting beat
out
up
of his
for?
mind.
For no fucking reason. This guy's crazy. He ends up composing himself, doesn't get kicked out, doubles later in the at-bat. Later on in the fifth inning, he is hit with a pitch, and he ends up going to first base. He sticks his tongue out at fans.
Oh, Christ.
He starts making bring it on gestures as they boo him when he comes out for the ninth inning. He's just being a complete asshole. And then also, the Mets accused him of leading chants from the dugout. That Nelson Figueroa likened the Nationals to a female softball team. It's like, I don't know what that was, some child, girl.
Whatever it is. It's just calling them girls, which saying they're inferior, I guess. It's just so dumb.
He hit 276 at bats. He hits 264, 13 home runs, 44 RBI, 13 steals. He makes $392,500 here.
I mean, that's probably just a super hacky. Calling them like
stupid.
A league of their own or some shit.
Like
or calling somebody Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Was that her name? Betty Davis? I think that's
one?
her name. The one that played for the team, the catcher. That was Betty Davis, right?
No.
It's not Betty Davis. Gina Davis.
I was like, are you out of
Betty
your mind?
Davis is like from the fucking 40s.
There
what
you
am
go.
I doing?
Yeah, Gina Davis is. She looks like she's from the 40s also.
She does.
She's much smaller teeth. Very small. So
lots of gums, though.
Early 2009, he has a little bit more than a week to pay about $41,000 in overdue child support payments. If he doesn't, he could face going to jail.
A little over a week.
$40,643. He owes money to Nishay Dukes.
Yeah.
Also owes money for her attorney fees that he's supposed to pay that he didn't pay. He can go to jail for 90 days if this doesn't happen here. He has 3 kids with her. He's ordered in April of 2008. He was ordered to pay $6,527 per month in child support and alimony. She received a payment of $16,685 on April 11th. Since then, she's only received $200.
So much
which
money.
Is not even close.
So much money that he owes.
Yeah, it's crazy. April 21st, 2009, he is supposed to makes a personal appearance at a Virginia Little League's a season opening gathering, and they're for money. They're paying him money for this because he needs it for his goddamn child support. Yeah. He's taking $500 from a Little League to go talk to them. This is a few hours before a Nationals game, though, and he ends up being late for the ballpark and fined by the Nationals. So he's makes $500. The Nationals fine him $500.
Yeah,
so
it's a wash.
The Little League said they're going to raise the additional $500 to cover his fine. He makes $415,000 this year,
and we're going to give him $500.
We're going to help pay his fine because he was here. He only talked for like a minute too. He watched the parade. He signed autographs. He spoke for about 1 minute and then had to run and was still late.
What a dick!
So it's like fuck, man. He also played baseball, minor leagues, 2 teams. 22 games, 276 with 3 home runs. 2009, there's a fluff piece on him on Bleacher Report.
What could they possibly say nice about this
Elijah
man?
Dukes. Are his problems the result of a bad man or a bad childhood? They talk about him owing $40,000
Does it have
child
to be
support.
mutually exclusive?
Exactly.
What the fuck?
They talk about his upbringing. Listen to this quote. This is so pro Elijah Dukes. Quote, it's open season on Elijah Dukes again. Other than a couple of very minor skirmishes last season, Dukes has kept his head down and his temper in check since joining the Nationals. Now a Tampa judge has threatened him with jail time if he doesn't pay more than $40,000 in alimony and child support. Dukes' lawyer said that the outfielder will comply with the order. In other words, there isn't a story here. And yet you can visit an internet sports site you can't visit an internet sports site without being bombarded with stories about Elijah Dukes being in trouble again. To be sure, Dukes has brought this feeding frenzy upon himself. As Dr. Phil would say, the best predictor of future actions are past actions.
Don't you ever quote Dr. Phil in a sports article.
In other words, the sports world is watching Elijah Dukes very closely.
Whoever wrote this just lost all credibility in my book for fucking... any sort of sports commentary.
So they're watching Elijah Dukes very closely, waiting for him to fail because they expect him to fail. Perhaps they even want him to fail. They're literally saying that everyone's rooting against him, this poor guy.
Fuck this guy.
He threatened. Hey, I'm not even going to get into it. You know what he did. Don't worry, though. There's a silver-haired, middle-aged white man on the case.
Who wrote that? Who? Do we have the name?
He's a fucking idiot.
He's an
That's
asshole.
That's who he is. He's a complete asshole.
When I catch you riding... Listen, Arthur, when I catch you riding, dog.
Yeah, fuck him. I didn't give him credit on purpose. He sucks. I don't care. Your kids, too. Don't worry, there are some silver-haired, middle-aged white men on the case.
Yeah.
Nationals GM Jim Bowden said the team had known about the situation prior to acquiring him, and they're working with him to resolve it. It's all good.
Of course.
He's good now.
We'll figure it out.
With the Nats that year, 107 games, 364 at-bats. He hit .250 with 8 home runs, 58 RBI, and only 3 steals. Made $415,500, like we said. Played in the Dominican League that year, had 2 home runs in 4 games. March 17, 2010, he is released by Washington. In the middle of spring training, he's projected to be their starting left fielder, and they shit-can him out of there.
They're done.
He's out. There's 2.5 weeks left in spring training. They call it inexplicable in all these articles. I can explain it. There's countless fan blogs, the fucking Amazing Avenue or whatever it is, the Mets shit, where it's them calling for, why aren't we bringing this guy in? He's perfect for us. If he comes here with our veteran leadership, he's not going to be a dick and he'll totally turn it around.
But your women in your city are in danger.
No, he's not. Yeah, it's not going to happen anyway.
And fucking umpires and teammates and fucking coaches. Everybody's in danger. And anybody on the fucking road.
Oh, forget that.
How could you want him in your town?
He's been in a lot of accidents, at least. I'll give him. In their own words, I don't know what to say. It felt a little funny. I guess I wasn't expecting it. That's part of baseball. No big deal. No hard feelings. Just part of the game. All I've been doing is my job.
Yeah.
So he's trying to play it cool now because he's like, I need another job. They put him on waivers. They pay him 30 days termination pay at the minor league rate if his split contract instead of 45 days at the major league rate. Very confusing. He's owed a little under $41,000. He would have been owed $109,000 if he would have been released a week later in spring training.
Oh, okay.
They released him early because it's a contract issue. Right. Manager Jim Riggleman and general manager Mike Rizzo and team president Stan Kasten all said the move was based on performance on the field, was not connected to any off-field issues, obviously. Yeah. Jim Riggleman here said, quote, Elijah was great. He's done his work. He's got no issues. It's just a baseball decision. Yeah. I don't know. Kasten here said, quote, the team president, who's the silverest one of them all, he said, quote, he never got any of the bad headlines everybody feared when he came here. Actually, he did. Yeah. I think he deserves credit for that. He didn't
get bad headlines, so give him some credit.
He didn't beat up any pregnant women, so let's give him credit. If anyone says there was an incident, that person has no idea what he's talking about. Well, actually, I do have an incident of when but let's not talk about that.
How many times have you read Barry Larkin wasn't a terrible person? Do you have to read that to know that?
His lawyer, Grady Irvin Jr., who's a complete dickhead and another junior, he says, quote, Mr. Dukes has absolutely no new off-field issues whatsoever. Dukes said that his agent was already working on finding him a good fit for a new team. He says, most definitely, I'll be back. Like, it is all good. I'll be right back. He never plays in the majors again, ever.
I'll be right back, kids.
Yes.
It's like that dad that goes, I'm just going to get ice cream.
240 games, MLB totals here. 240 games, 824 at-bats, 199 hits. He hit .242 with a 771 OPS, 31 home runs, 123 RBI, 18 steals, but he was also caught stealing 18 times. Yeah. Not good. Okay. 50-50 is terrible. Yeah. April 2010, he signs with the Tabasco Olmecas of the Mexican League.
You bet he did.
But then backs out. He's like, this is too embarrassing even for me. I can't do this. This is embarrassing.
I have so many kids with so many different women.
God damn it. Down here, they're all excessively fertile. I'm going to have 50 kids by the end of the season.
Oh, that's a great
Jesus
point.
Christ almighty.
Holy shit.
July 2nd, 2010, he signs with the Newark Bears, an independent minor league team. They're an indie team. That's like every washed-up major leaguer who can't hook on anywhere. They go play there. Jose Canseco, Ricky Henderson. On the team while he's playing is Carl Everett, and Tim Raines manages and plays on the team.
He's a player and manager.
Yeah, it's an indie team. Carl Everett hit .279 in 39 games that year. Raines played in 30 games, for Christ's sake. Elijah plays in 26 games, has 101 at-bats, hits .366 with 5 homers and 19 RBI. So on the field, that's great. 2010, his father gets out of prison.
Oh, great.
Isn't that nice? He's so excited. He's been saying his father had some like work release and he'd go see his father.
Yeah.
He's so excited. So his father gets out of prison, which is so nice. A month later, he dies of cancer.
Oh, no.
Yes, a month later, he dies of cancer. So not
Heartbreak.
good. Heartbreak. This guy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
It went from celebration to planning a funeral in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
bananas.
bad, man. It's so fucking bad, man. His mother talks about how he was so sad because his father never got a chance to see him play because he went away before he started playing, gets out and dies. So,
what's worse, if he dies of cancer in prison or if a month later?
Man, a month later, at least you got to see him. But
I don't
shit,
know,
that's
man.
brutal. I don't know. That's a tease.
He wasn't in good health.
That's a tease. I mean, Jesus Christ. I think his son gave him cancer. I think his stupidity gave him cancer. He was embarrassed in the cancer.
Can we blame Elijah
he was
Jr.?
More embarrassed about that than the murder he committed. So I feel bad. The brother's been fucking now. Think about the little brother. He's all embarrassed. By the way, Tyrone says that Elijah doesn't talk to him much anymore because he's got, during this whole thing, because he's got so much going on. So he's not even talking to his little brother. His mother's having to go out there and say how she sold crack and defend him in the streets.
Fucking ruin her whole legacy.
4 women have 5 kids that they're getting spotty child support payments on, and Gatorade bottles and candy jars chucked at their head, and they're being choked. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. All of them, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Elijah Dukes, a land manager at TCC Global in Hollywood, Florida.
Wow.
I don't know what that is.
And he's in Florida, too.
Elijah Dukes, basketball and football player at Flower Mound High School in Flower Mound, Texas. By the way, he's 6'1" also.
Is that one of his kids?
No, it's not one of his kids. No, that's what I thought too. I'm like, is that his fucking kid? I'm like, no, his kid's like 13 years old. He's a class of 2016, so he graduated. But if you look up Elijah Dukes basketball or football,
you'd find that guy.
Sorry, yeah. And finally, Elijah Dukes, Tampa, Florida.
No.
I don't know if this is him. Student at Love Beauty School.
Oh Christ!
Is he going to beauty school
hope
now?
It's him.
I swear to Christ. Well, he has a couple other careers that he's interested in that we'll get into here.
All right.
Number 1 is being arrested on contempt of court charges. That happens on November 3rd,
It's a pretty sweet
2010.
career.
Yeah, it's related to non-payment of child support, obviously. February 2011. He calls the Tampa Tribune and just goes off on shit.
Really?
Starts telling them that he smoked marijuana before games with the Nationals. He said that teammates used to bring weed and cocaine on team flights. So he's blowing up the spot of everybody.
Is this like the way he's just going to be like just a
I'm burning
tell-all
the
guy?
bridge. Not only that, now I don't give a shit about baseball. I'm not doing that anymore. I am now a rapper.
Oh my Christ!
And my name,
yes.
Jimmy puts his head down on the mic. And my name is quote Fly Eli.
Yes.
God damn it. That sounds like something Eli Manning would say as a joke on SNL. I'm Fly Eli. And all the kids laugh at him. Jesus Christ. Several interviews.
What a dipshit.
He also talked about how the police were out to get him, the difficulties of being a black athlete in Tampa, and how he was, quote, thrown under the bus by Major League Baseball.
Isn't Tampa, like, overwhelmingly black populated,
yeah, but it's
though?
Florida and it's the South. I don't trust any of the South with black people. So I'll believe. That's the only thing I'll believe out of everything he said.
It's
Everything
Pinellas
else is
County.
bullshit.
Pinellas County has a
lot of
very
black
large
people.
population of black people.
And I'm sure the cops beat the shit
You're
out of him on a
probably
regular
right.
basis, but that's fine. That I don't know about. I honestly don't know about that. I don't know if the police are targeting him or not, but I do know that.
No, Trick Daddy's from down there, and
he's not
he
being,
talks about being beat by cops, doesn't he?
He's not being thrown under the bus by Major League Baseball. They did everything to sweep his shit under the rug.
They did their best to help you.
They didn't throw him under the bus. They swept him under the rug. Right. It's much better for him. He says he was blackballed.
That is clever, you
hey,
bastard.
Sorry about that. Hey, not bad. He was blackballed, he said, after he said that he told team people that people use drugs in hotel rooms, and how he basically was trying to blow everybody up, blow up everybody's spot, and they baseball blackballed him for it.
So because he's opening his mouth, they're gonna okay.
There's a video on YouTube of him rapping.
Oh my God, I'm not seeing it.
Two Fly Eli, and it's called Lust. And it is fucking terrible. Let me tell you something. Oh, boy.
At least he picked the right fucking thing to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lust, rage, hate. He's just emotions. All of his songs are emotions.
Anything that makes children, that's the emotion that
volatile
I'm
emotions. March 3rd, 2011, a sheriff's office report, Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Says that Duke's pregnant girlfriend, he's got a pregnant girlfriend.
Again?
They were staying in a motel for several days with his pregnant girlfriend.
Just fucking.
Who's a 20-year-old woman.
Yep.
They're arguing over money, and she said things turned violent. She is 5 months pregnant and said Duke slapped her repeatedly in the face.
Yeah, I can see that.
She said that the baby is his, but according to Duke's sister, that's not his Katrina Evans, the one he choked back in the day, said that that's not possible. She said, quote, "My brother can't have kids anymore. He's fixed." Okay.
No, he's broken, dear.
Yeah.
He is super broken.
She then went on to say, quote, "My brother has nowhere to stay, no income to show for what he did. My mother is still in the hood. He tried, but not hard enough." That's what she said. You failed. Fucked up.
My mother's still in the hood. Is that the definition of when you've succeeded? When mom gets out the hood?
I think
really?
so.
Is that what
when
it
you
is?
can get your mom into a better place. She said they were arguing, and Duke slapped her several times in the face. He then went to his mother's house to get away, and he was arrested without incident. He is arrested on charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant woman and driving with a revoked or suspended license because he drove over there. He's also wanted on a contempt of court charge for child support. He's being held without bond at that point. Jail at the time, jail records didn't indicate whether he had an attorney, and attorney Grady Irvin Jr. says he no longer represents Dukes. I only represented him when he made a lot of money. I'm done with that.
I represent people that can pay me for it.
Yeah. April 25th, 2011, Dukes is charged with driving with a suspended or revoked license in Florida.
What is he doing?
He is arrested on an exit off Interstate I-75 in Tampa. He's released on a $500 or $250 bond. I got a little dyslexic there for a second. May 31st, 2011, he spends his Memorial Day in jail, charged with driving with a suspended or revoked license. Yes, near Hillsborough Avenue and 40th Street at 1:48 a.m. He was arrested. Fucking idiot. He's released that day on $500 bail, and that's twice that. Plays in the Dominican League in 2011.
Really?
I wonder if he had 2 Fly Eli on his jersey. 7 games, 2-7.
No, it was Fly Eli on the back, but there was a number 2 on it.
That's true. Yeah. 7 games in the Dominican League, 217 with 0 home runs. He's done with baseball. February 23rd, 2012, Tampa police pull over Dukes' orange Chevy Camaro for a traffic stop at Nebraska and Sly Avenues at 1 a.m. Again, they approach him in the car. They see flakes of marijuana on his shirt, and they look down, and he has a small bag of weed in his lap.
Okay.
What he does is he tries to eat the bag of weed in his lap right in front of the cops.
Yeah.
He stuffed it into his mouth. They took it out of his mouth because they said, "Hey, idiot." Once they got him out of the car and arrested him, they also noticed that he had a rolled blunt behind his right ear.
He didn't realize that.
He didn't realize that one. Forgot about that because he was a little high.
Because that's what happens when you get stoned. You forget shit.
You forget little shit. He's charged with tampering with physical evidence, possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis.
He looked all over that car for
possession
that joint.
Oh, you know he
was
did.
Looking everywhere. What did I do with that blunt?
Fuck, man, I lost that shit. Possession of drug paraphernalia and 3 counts of driving with a suspended license.
Yeah.
Being held he was released after posting $4,750 bail, which I don't know where the fuck he got that from. November 2012, he's jailed on a contempt of court charge related to his failure to pay child support. On January 22nd, 2013, he is arrested on a warrant related to the previous weed charge. He's arrested. He's been charged with an additional count of driving on a suspended license because once they found him, like, hey, you're driving and you have this thing, you dummy. He failed to appear for court on related to the February 2012 weed stop. And December 20th, 2013, he is arrested at his home in Brandon, Florida, on a warrant charging him with violation of his probation. This is probation for the trying to eat a bag of weed.
Right.
So, yes, he was held on that in Hillsborough County Jail without bail for a while. That was 2013. Fingers crossed he's been quiet. He's been quiet since then. I don't know.
Is he in jail?
I don't think he's in jail, but I don't. He might have been in jail for a while. He might have gotten medication. That's what I'm thinking. In jail or something, they might have said, try this. And he went, oh, fuck, I haven't choked anybody in 3 weeks.
There's no possible way he just figured out how to live.
No, it had to be that or something. Can't get enough of Elijah Dukes.
I sure in the fuck
I know I can. You can get an Elijah Dukes signed baseball on Amazon with certificate of authenticity, $24.99 plus free shipping. Not bad.
That's great.
Not bad at all.
It's a
Also,
bargain.
an Elijah Dukes autographed baseball card, a 2003 Tampa Rays card. It's like a rookie card. It's a minor league thing. $14 plus $3.59 shipping and handling.
Deal.
Holy shit, that's Elijah Dukes.
What the
That's
fuck?
a lot of arrests, and that took a long time to compile.
I can't even imagine.
Jesus Christ.
For serious, that's
That
so
was
much.
That was a lot. That was
Sweet Pete, how many times did he talk to a cop in his life?
That's what I said. He should have just joined the force and got a uniform
nuts.
because he would have got paid for like half of what he's doing because he's always around the cops.
I can't imagine. And that the guy's
fucking
barely
nuts.
32 years old
That's
right
what
now.
I mean. He's been arrested like 35 times. It's crazy. If you like that story, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars for that.
We'll take it.
Also, what you can do is you can go to patreon.com/crime and sports. You can make a donation. You can go to PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and you can make a donation there. You can go to crimeandsports.threadless.com to get all of your crime and sports and small town murder gear. You can go to Chicago. You can go to Lincoln Hall on Thursday, December 14th.
2 days from now.
2 days from when this comes out, and you can see a live show. And we're going to kill it at that live show. It's going to be amazing.
So fun.
Cool pictures and visuals too, and us doing an episode. It's a crazy episode too. I picked a
wait.
wild one for that.
Yeah.
Crazier than this even.
We're getting on a plane for that shit.
We're
That's
getting
going
on
to
a
be so
plane.
fun.
Come there, or you can go to Boston, February the 18th, and see us there. Crime and Sports live again there at Laugh Boston. All the links are in the show description. If you want to get a hold of the show, that's an easy thing to do. We're all over the place. Instagram and Twitter at Crime and Sports, Facebook.com/Crime and Sports, and crimeandsports@gmail.com. Jimmy, I know you have an amazing list of producers who we could not goddamn live without. Hit us with it, Jimmy.
Our executive producers again this week were Jess and Chrissy. Chrissy Ankestaldi and Jess Landgren are fantastic ladies. Thank you both for supporting and continue supporting us every goddamn week. It's incredible. And then there we had Elena Frederick, I believe is how you pronounce her name. There are so many E's in her name. There's 2 in her first name, and then there's 3 in her last name. There's a third one at the end of Frederick. It's ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Rachel Howard, Lena or Lina Ramirez. I don't want to pronounce that wrong.
Lino Lakes, Lino, you're going to get tweets for the next 6 months.
I have no
trust
idea.
me.
Robert Combs, Tina Herinen. They were. As I was writing this list, I was like, "These are so easy this week."
I'm going to kill it this week.
I'm four names in, and I'm already
fucking
stumbling.
crushing it this week.
Otilia Abraham, Lisa Harbin, Tyler Shaw, Dirk Haley or Hallie. I think I've done that before on Hallie. It may be Haley.
I think that goes from person to person.
Sure does. Just like every name. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just like you can call your town Iowa and it's spelled like Iowa. Yeah, exactly.
No last name, just Chris. Spazzy Moonchild, Maddie Finley, Mike Kennedy. Mike Kennedy is terrific, by the way.
Thank you.
The guy donates every week. He changes it up,
we really appreciate that
Lindsay
so much.
Ray, Kelsey Hebert, Jamie Harder, Jonathan Hool. That guy also, too. He's amazing. He's donated so many different ways, and I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough, Jonathan. Thank you.
That's so awesome. Thank you,
Adam
man.
Hansen, Joe Fichot, and Carrie up in Portland. They're unbelievable. They send me so many emails, or not emails, snaps of their dogs. They're terrific.
By the way,
young
real
ladies.
quick, shout out to people. If any of you are in Seattle, we're trying to do a live show in Seattle. That's the next one we want to do. Next one we want to book, and we've contacted several of your venues and clubs. Nobody will fucking return shit. Nothing. I don't know. They don't want to sell out.
Maybe it's you guys.
I don't understand what it is.
You guys have to do it.
Maybe you guys have to hit them up because we don't have an agent and we don't have managers and we don't have that shit.
Do it on our own.
We're fucking comedians and we do this shit on our own and we try to, keep it in house. And so
Katie Heisel's up there too, the girl that makes our map every week.
Yeah, we don't have anybody to represent us. And a lot of these companies, a lot of these places, even if you can fucking sell out, which we can sell Small Town Murder out pretty much anywhere in the country, I think at this point, they still won't give you the time of goddamn day because the comedy business is fucking disgusting. And there's why we don't have a manager they can then jerk off the next week. That's why. Right. So cut out that middleman, please, and contact your clubs in Seattle and tell them, hey, guess what?
Or
we
Portland,
need Small Town Murder.
Portland, just the Pacific Northwest.
Portland too, but Seattle because I'm pissed off at them right now because they think they're fucking hot shit and they can't return a fucking call for. You know what? Then we won't sell out your building. I'll put 300 fucking chairs in a field somewhere and we'll go sit there and we won't charge anybody anything. You can fuck yourselves. How's that?
So
contact
you,
your clubs. Thank you.
James Cook, Dita Vasquez, Tiffany Daniels, Kenneth R. Garrity. I want that to be Pat Garrity's cousin or some shit. I don't know. I see Garrity, and it's probably spelled differently, but just a cool name. Yeah. Angel Cantwell, George Salam. Sorry, George. Your last name is fucking brutal.
Salome?
Craig Butel. See, now I get 2 in a row that I can't fucking do.
Wait a sec. What's that name?
Saloum. Saloum. Oh, Butel. Craig L. Butel, Beutel. Yeah,
T-E-L?
Yeah, that's Butel, right?
I know that guy.
Do you really?
Thanks, Craig. I know Craig. Thanks, man.
Craig
Appreciate
Butel.
it, brother.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
And did I get it right? Was it Butel?
It's Butel, actually, but that's fine.
Well,
People
welcome,
mispronounce
Butel.
it. He's from Iowa. He wouldn't care.
All right.
He's very mild.
Cassidy Marsh, Ingrid Stalk in Norway with their North Korea bucks yet again. Every fucking week. Thank you,
was so
Ingrid.
cool.
Stephanie Walters Henriksen. There's no D. It's just Henriksen.
Oh, okay.
I think that was right.
Fair
Did I
enough.
write that right? I hope so. Fuck, Henriksen. Michelle Walter, Rob Madursky, Seymour Butts, which you're a fucking goofball. I like it.
We'll take it. Thank you. We love you
Deanna
anyway.
or Dina Jones, William McClellan in Scotland. He donated again. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Rebecca Manners, Natalie Hodson, Sarah Lindsay, Mark French, Janice Hill, Tyler Hunt, Retta Cruz. Actually, her son Levi got her to listen to the show, and now she fucking loves it. So thank you both, Retta and Levi, for listening and getting your mom into it. That's fucking
That's
dope,
so
bro.
cool, yeah.
You got the coolest
I love when
mom
people
ever.
listen together.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, like podcasts are a very individual thing. You put
Yeah.
your earphones in, you
Right.
sit there.
It's
when
so
people
personal.
listen together,
Right.
it's like old time, like family sitting around watching TV. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, we're all
Right.
into the same show.
We're all listening
It's
to this.
cool.
But back then,
People don't do that anymore.
Right. They don't sit and listen to the
No,
radio
everything's
together either.
everything's internalized, your own thing.
Yeah.
My pad and my
It's amazing.
screen, and yeah.
So when you're talking about it,
That's cool. Thank
the
you,
cool
guys.
part. Kim Hewitt, Katie Johnson, Christina Woog, Woog. That's a tough one.
Yeah, Woog.
It's just Woog, right?
Woog. I don't know.
I don't want to fuck it up. I don't know. Sarah Stokes, Zach Pearson, Ryan Wroblewski with a W. So Wroblewski. There's a W on the front. Does that make sense?
Wroblewski?
Wroblewski?
Wroblewski.
It's a tough one.
I'm sure it's not correct.
That's got to be a brutal way to go through life. Elisa
Yeah, Petrogallo,
Godinez.
thank you. It's fine. You're fine, Wroblewski or whatever your name is. You're doing great.
But with a W, that's
Wroblewski.
fucking extra shitty. That's
true. That doesn't
just
help
ruins
any.
everything. I got a silent W on the front of my name. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have an I, so I get it.
That's the worst.
It's bad.
Eliza Godinewski? G-O-D, I think that's what I wrote.
The Polish are fucking...
Did I say Godinewski?
Yeah.
No, it's Godinez. What am I doing?
Yeah, I was like, the Polish tonight are coming in full force. Good Lord.
So many Poles.
I'm eating pierogies later. Fuck this.
Sam Coakley, Jennifer Dedrick, Matt Jarrett, L. Michelle Leatherman. L. Michelle? It must be like Lynn or Lisa or something. I don't know. L. Michelle Leatherman. Liam Feltman. Naima Shea. I think it's Naima. N-A-I-M-A. That's Naima.
Yeah, Naima.
Right? Naima Shea. Jillian, Jesus. Anderson, and in my head I say Hernandez. How does that even happen? How do you even do that?
Any idea how you put those
Jillian
together?
Anderson, Slate, Annette Wright, Sean Hoxie, Shean, Sean, Jesse Bostian or Bostian, Beth. What the fuck am I doing?
Over there.
Beth Denkinger, Big Papa Ponce or Ponce, I don't know. Tara Bridges, Odom, Armando Rodriguez, Caleb Hartung, Jenny Kay and Rodney, Rob Walters, Nick Laycock, again with that last name. That's a brutal last name.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's fucking dope, but I don't know. I don't know if it's great or if it sucks.
I don't know if it's great or if it sucks.
It's great because
It's all of what you make. It's what you make
great.
of it, honestly, I think. at that
Siren
point.
Johnsgar, she also sent some North Korea bucks from Norway. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daryl L., Emily Irvin, Shannon Ruger, Jonathan Desmond, Megan Schmelzenbach. Jesus.
That's the one. When I saw that donation, I laughed and went, oh, Jimmy's going to, I love it.
Schmelzenbach. I got it. God damn it. Rachel Smith, Stacy Huffaker, Devin Ray, Julia Schuster, Melissa Poole, Nicholas Knezevich.
Yes.
Knezevich.
Yes.
I think he said you pronounced the K. I think you're supposed to, so it's Knezevich. Kelly McLaughlin, huge thank you to you. I appreciate that was an unbelievably generous donation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Michael Neal,
honestly.
another one. Thank you so much.
You guys are...
Cat Lady Created. I don't know what that is. I think that's a business. So Google Cat Lady
and
Created
give them some
and
business.
Buy her shit.
Yeah.
Hannah Just, Melissa Hoover, ARRB. I don't know what that is. If it's a business, there was nothing extra to it.
Association of Animal Retail.
I think it was ARRB.
Botanist.
Was it ARRB?
Oh, I thought it was AARB.
No, ARRB.
Oh, Association of Retail
Rental breakfast? I don't know.
Boulevard.
Right,
yes.
something like that.
Yes.
Candace Horner, Kelsey Perkins, Arlene So, Anna Schwartz, thank you so much also. That was a nice donation.
Yes, thank you.
Dana Losi, Sarah Gilbo donated twice today. Thank you, Sarah.
Wow, thank you,
Molly
Sarah.
Parker, Stacy Huffaker, again, I guess she donated twice. I didn't even... I'm an
That's
asshole.
so nice. Thank
you, Stacy. Teresa Schufel plug. That word. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
SCHEUCHENPFLUG.
Fuck
Nope.
yeah.
Fuck
I love
that
it. That's
name.
a good one. That's a good one.
She wrote me and told me, because she donated before and told me that I completely fucked it. And I said, listen,
Jesus.
You give that to anybody, they're going to fuck it.
I wonder
Nobody's
what the
going to make that
percentage
right.
of people that have ever gotten that right is.
I'm 0.
Yeah,
Fucking her. That's it.
Her grandmother.
Shushenflug. I don't know. Dulcie Thompson. Dulcie Thompson. Michael Euler. He's on Twitter,
cool.
too. Thanks, Mike. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Mike.
you, brother. Stephen Mace. Jeremy Ramon. Marika Sand or Marika. It may be Marika. I know people did pronounce it like that. It's 2 Ks, though, in Marika. It's Marika. Marika Sand. Jane Richard. I'm fucking wrong.
No,
Jane
no, it's not at all.
She's going, he's a fucking dipshit. Jane Richards. Katie Miranda. Majeline Spitzy?
Wow. Okay.
Nope.
I would probably not. I'm going to go.
And Matt Kleeman sent a nice donation too. Matt, thank you all so much.
Thank you, everybody. Those people are amazing.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. You save our lives, honestly.
Truly,
you make the show
every day.
Compiling all this shit, you make it worth it. It really is.
sure.
So thank you guys, and you make us feel some love too, and we really, really appreciate that. What if one of these great people wanted to get a hold of a fella like yourself, Jimmy?
At Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Follow along and just it really makes my week to have you guys around. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm at Jimmy P is funny. Thank you guys for everything, all your kind words. Even if you hate us, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Thank you for interacting with us, and it's all good. We don't mind at all. And I'm super busy compiling lists of 35 people's arrests, 35 arrests for one idiot. So if I take a minute to get back to people or like stuff, it's not because I'm ignoring you or I don't care. It's just that I'm packed, and I'll get to it. I swear, at 3 a.m, I'll go through and I'll check everything. So thank you guys so much for doing that. I'm at Jimmy P is funny. You can copy and paste my last name. There's an I in there. Don't try to spell it. Don't be a jackass. Come to Chicago. Holy shit, that's the show for the week.
So fun.
It's a crazy story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.